Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
All right, welcome into Woodward Nights, baby, with Booner and Broder. My name is Booner, as always, joined by the one, the only Michigan graduate and Detroit Lions beat reporter, Matthew Broder.
What's up?
Let's go. We're always in the TD booth, as always. Jalen is with us, and Nick in the sound booth.
Let's go.
Full squad tonight, fellas. Listen, it is not Victory Monday, because we had Victory Friday. I'm going to call this Winners Monday, Winners Week, because we're all winners. Remember we went through Losers Week when we lost to Seattle?
Not anymore.
Winners Week, baby.
Feels like we've been celebrating since last Sunday.
We have
been.
We've been on a huge high, and we still have like 7 days of it.
Bender, dare I call it.
It is. It feels like it. And if you guys are still on that victory high as well, make sure you guys hit that like button. Tell people to come join the show with us every single night, Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 p.m. We appreciate you guys as always. Don't have the glasses today. Don't have the free JMO shirt.
Don't have the mustache.
The mustache is gone.
It's gone.
How about that? Look at clean shaven Broder.
Like Omar Little in season 2, I'm stashless.
I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of mad when I walked in or you walked in and I saw no stash.
It'll be back.
Okay.
Definitely for November. It'll probably be back within a week or two.
So we won't see it for another month.
Yeah, maybe. I'll just you'll have to wait and see. You'll have to keep you on your toes. Maybe come back each night and watch Woodward Nights.
Yeah,
you know
every single night, man.
Every night.
I think Broder might be able to grow. And you know what actually is good about this?
What's good?
If you guys are just tuning in, Broder just throws out all these random, weird, creepy jokes.
Facts.
So without the mustache, I think it's going to make the show a lot better, actually.
It might. But first, I must ask you a question, Booner.
Oh, my gosh. Here we go.
I had
to. Here we go.
I had to. I know we do have a Monday Night Football game that's going on here in a few minutes.
We do.
So I know we're going to make those picks. But, dude, there's just a lot going on. Lions got 10 days off. They got the Panthers. Oh, I can't believe I almost forgot the Panthers
Carolina
on Sunday.
Panthers,
got Carolina
baby.
Panthers, Tampa Bay Bucks. Right, this is a good stretch for the Lions. Pistons started today. Kool-Aid was down at Pistons Media Day. It was epic. Tiger season's over.
The Tiger season, I want to throw it out there. I was there yesterday, and I've grown up, obviously, I mean, all of us probably grew up watching Miggy. It was I would put it number one because, I mean, I haven't gone to a ton of, like, big events because as I've been getting older, the teams haven't been that great. So it's been, like, waiting for that moment because all of our parents got that moment with the Wings and the Lions in the early 90s and the Tigers. And obviously, I was a little younger. I guess the World Series I remember, but I could have gone. I was young.
1984?
No, well, didn't we go to one?
Okay.
Yeah, recently. So, or like 15 or 08. That was it. I was young. I was still 11 years old. So, going to this Miggy like final game, I went with my cousins, and we always like for the 3,000th hit. For the 3,000th hit, we all went, and we stood right next to the left of the what are they? The statues. And then, so we were like, hey, we should probably go to the 3,000 or the final game, go to the same spot. So I've had that memory now in my head with my cousins that we go there, and it was sweet. It was like one of the most emotional days or coolest Detroit sporting events I've ever been through. And I did catch a cool video. We'll play in a little bit here, but it was awesome. If anyone else got out there, I didn't see you, but hopefully you enjoyed that moment.
It was a memory. I love that you say you went with some cousins and you went to his 3,000th hit game or when you were looking for it. You made memories at a baseball game. That's all you can ask for these days. So good for you, Booner.
Thank you.
I wish I was there.
It was, dude. So the thing was, the tickets like earlier in the year, everyone was like telling me to buy them. It was like $35, and I went to go buy it yesterday. It was like $80, and I was like, I have to like
make it happen.
They were there. Everyone was convincing me. But let's talk about this real quick before we get into it. We're gonna go over our rundown here. Exciting rundown. Really a lot of Lions stuff. We're going to talk a little bit about this Monday Night Football game, NFL, around the NFL. But let's go around the room real quick, kind of give our picks for this Seahawks-Giants game before we get started.
Let's go.
As always, if you guys tune in on Monday and Thursday nights, we're sitting here competing with the NFL. No, we're going to watch the NFL games with you together. We're all going to give you our picks, and we want your picks, and we're going to ride out these bets together. Broder, I'll start with you. What do you like in this game? Obviously, you can't bet as a reporter. But
But if I'm talking about who I think is going to win this game, just straight money line, no pluses or minuses, overs and unders, I'm going to go with the Seattle Seahawks. I don't have faith in the Giants yet. I thought they were going to have a much stronger season. They've looked pretty bad. I know Saquon's been out, but Danny Dimes seems to have taken a step back. They look worse than they did when they came to practice in Allen Park a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
So it's very strange. I don't know. The Seattle Seahawks are a team I sort of tend to forget about, but you remember they beat the Lions. Like, I think so highly of the Lions right now. We're going to do power rankings tomorrow, but I think so highly of the Lions. Seattle Seahawks came into the Lions home field and put a whooping on them.
They did. Jalen, who do you got in this game? Do you have a side that you like?
I'm going to go with the Seahawks. I don't trust the Giants without Saquon Barkley playing. So, I don't trust anybody on that team without him playing. So I'm going to go with the Seahawks, fair.
Nick?
Right there, all the way around, so I know what Booner's doing.
Yeah,
Don't tell me we're going to do all four. I've got the Seahawks, and I like them to cover.
What do we do around here? We fade the public, baby. Give me the Giants. It's plus 1.5. I'll take it. My actual pick for the game, though, is the over. That's what I have my biggest amount of money on. I think it's over 42.5 or 46.5, I believe. So I do have that. I do have a parlay for the people.
Oh, give the people the parlay.
It's me and Jeff Hollywood, Jeff I. Frady from the Morning Woodward Show. We were texting and we put one together. We each gave about 2 or 3 legs. First leg of the parlay is Daniel Jones, 25 rushing yards.
I like that.
Beautiful. Kenneth Walker, 50 rushing yards. Beautiful.
Like that.
Darren Waller, 40 receiving yards. Ooh. Beautiful. Come on, say I like that too.
Ooh.
Darius Slayton, 25 yards. Not a lot, but he's gotten it, I believe, every single game so far. And then over 40.5 alternate spread. We got it at plus 722. So I don't know what it would be at now, but we got that in earlier this morning at plus 722. So
over 40.5, like total game score.
Points,
gotcha.
Yep.
Gotcha.
And I obviously have the over 46.5, which better hit because that was like my biggest play of the weekend. Because I thought it was like a smart, play, and it might not be.
There's some wild games this weekend. The NFL was nutty.
It was. I love the NFL so much, man.
There's so many storylines. There's so many things to overreact to. Here on Overreaction Monday, we're going to do a lot of overreacting today. We're going to do a lot of testing the people. We're going to see some of these storylines if they're legit, if they're not. Do a little temperature check.
We do. We have like 3 different segments of NFL overreactions, Lions overreactions, Lions temperature check, NFL temperature check. We're going to go through everything today. I'm telling you guys. Real quick, before we get into it, I'm going to tell you guys about the Lions Insider Show, though, which is tomorrow morning, 7 to 8 a.m. Make sure you guys all tune in. That is for all the inside scoop on your Detroit Lions, the Woodward in Maine show right there with Gabrielle D. Phillips. Matthew Broder, our own, and Detroit legend Terry Foster. They'll go over everything, breaking down the game from last Thursday, the Green Bay game. They're going to talk about all of that tomorrow at 7 to 8 a.m. on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. They also do Sundays 8 to 9 a.m. this week as well. So make sure you guys check them out. But, Broder, I'm going to go this rundown real quick. We are going to open the phone lines at a certain point in the show, probably around 8:30, 8:45. So make sure you guys keep an eye out for that. We're going to get into some Detroit Lions overreaction Monday. Can't wait for that. I want to hear yours because Broder's around the team, so his overreactions are probably better than mine. 8:30, we're going to talk some more Jamison Williams here. What does that do to the offense? 8:45, the return of Emmanuel Mosley.
Ooh!
Potentially Kirby Joseph. We're going to go over some injuries and returns and what that can do for this Detroit Lions team. 9 o'clock, Detroit Lions defense from last year to this year. What are the differences? I went and pulled out a ton of stats, Broder, for you and all of the people to kind of go over here. I have some stats that are very interesting. Shout out Aaron Glenn. 9:15, we're going to go around the room, the temperature check with the Detroit Lions here. We each went and got some hot and cold stuff. 9:30 around the NFL over. That's the NFL overreaction Monday. That's the serious one.
That's the real one.
That's the one where you don't want to be in that. If
you need to come with your boxing gloves on for that one.
And then at 9:40. We're going to continue kind of going around the NFL here. We're going to talk about the hottest topics in the NFL. 9:50 mailbag as always. So, bro, I'm excited. What was it like at Allen Park today? Because I know you were down there.
Yeah, it was
the vibe of the room.
The vibe of the room. I didn't know what to expect because there's been a lot of excitement here on the show, here at the network. But when I went down, it felt like they were all business. It felt like it was another Monday. They showed up. Dane Campbell actually described Commish this way, but they showed up with their lunch pails just ready to go to work. They don't seem to, the whole Lions team, the energy down there, they don't seem too ahead of themselves. They don't seem too arrogant, too confident that they're now just going to run through the rest of their schedule. It's like they not only have a chip on their shoulder for this Carolina Panthers game, but they're taking the rest of the season seriously. They have aspirations beyond winning the NFC North, beyond just winning this division, and they know how important these games are. They know they got to take care of business against the Panthers and the Bucs before they head to Baltimore. So it was one of those vibes where it felt good knowing they're not looking past this Sunday, which is something they could have easily done after a big win against Green Bay and then 10 days off.
That's what, since that Seahawks loss, we all saw that chip kind of get on their shoulder from last year. I talk about this all the time. Is that 1-6 start last year? It put a chip on their shoulder, and they finished the season 8-2. And I said it a couple weeks ago when that Seahawks loss happened was, hey, I think that's kind of where they got that chip from last year. Like, it backed them against the wall like they were last year when they were 1-6. It just came way earlier than it has in the past.
Yeah.
So now it's like each game, like when they were on that 8-2 stretch, every press conference, every time Dan Campbell came to talk, any player, they had that confidence and they had that, hey, like, we don't deserve anything. We're gonna go out there with a chip on our shoulder, like we're underdogs even if we're a 10-point favorite, we're going to be a 10-point underdog. And that's what it felt like watching Dan Campbell's press conference today. Ali McNeil came out and talked. Derek Barnes. The way that they've been talking all sounds like that. Derek Barnes is like, we're business.
Yeah.
We're underdogs still. And I feel like even if they go on a playoff run, it feels like they're going to have that chip on their shoulder, back against the wall mentality. And I feel like that's exactly what a team needs. Like, if you want to be that next Kansas City Chiefs, the Bills, the Bengals, you have to have that.
And I love that
they have it.
They do, and I love that it was Derek Barnes and Ali McNeil sort of delivering that message to us today, because they're two of those guys who have elevated their game for sure, but they're the ones who always play with a chip on their shoulder. They have something to prove this season, especially Ali McNeil coming in. We feel like he's going to be a star. He's a budding defensive tackle star in the league, and you could see how much better Aiden Hutchinson, how much better Charles Harris, the entire defensive line played when he started playing well. Ali McNeil is a huge difference maker, and then Derek Barnes, everyone thought Jack Campbell's going to come in and just walk right into the starting linebacker job. But no, Derek Barnes has continued to elevate his game.
Yes.
So that's what you love to see. They're both good guys. They are confident, but they're not ahead of themselves, just like you were saying, just like we were describing.
It's true to me. I just like the Jared Goff thing last week when he did that post-game interview after he threw the interception. They asked him, like, what were you thinking after that? The fact that your quarterback can go out there and be like the number one guy and have that mindset, and then these guys get up on the podium today and still have that, like they're down 40 points in the game.
Yeah. When
they're not even playing a game, they're just like, it's like a Tuesday or a Monday on a game week that's 7 days a week, and they can just get up there and be like, we're like, we all want that mentality. We all strive. Like, I strive to have that mentality doing this and different things. So it's a different Lions team, man.
It is. And you can feel it. The last thing I'll say, you can feel it coming from Dan Campbell, who really is their leader from the top. Their fearless leader. That's the phrase I was going to. His calmness and his confident calmness is so much different than when we first saw him.
I just remember after the loss, in the press conference after the loss, he came out and said, like, I let it kind of slip away a little bit. You were probably there, but in, like, not word for word, but said, like, kind of let it slip away to where we stopped focusing on those things. And we started focusing on, we just beat the Chiefs. Everyone got excited. We started focusing on the wrong things. And then he was like, the day after the loss, he was like, no, we're getting back to where we were. And it seems like they've all clicked back to it.
Yeah.
It was like a 7-day span where they realized, oh, hey, we need to have, like, so, yeah. That's just where
they're back in the dirt. They're back in the dirt, back in the mud, where they feel comfortable.
Yeah, some old press conferences popped in my head there. Started playing in my head.
Love it. Well, come on back. We're going to jump right into Overreaction Monday Lions edition. So come on back right after, but Nick has to tell you about Academy of Warren.
They have a brand new state-of-the-art Sports Dome field house that has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, and soccer field. Also can be used for 7-on-7 football. K-8 that features AM and PM latchkey, small classroom sizes, Learning Street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Houghton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, and K-8 athletics. They are now accepting new enrollment. Go to theacademyofwarren.net.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot off the press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour.
You're a good coach, Tim. Oh, great shot.
Some of the biggest names in Michigan sports, and some, well, not so much.
Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah, baby. Shit. Go in.
Watch episodes at woodwardsports.com.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
All right, let's talk about Outdoor Equipment Company real quick. The official equipment provider of the Woodward Sports Network, Michigan-grown, family-owned, bad boy mowers, tractors, style handhelds, and even weed whippers, Liberty trailers, generic generators, snow X plows, and salters. Listen, everything. Outdoor Equipment Co. has it all. Buy it, rent it, 0% financing, delivery right to your doorstep. OutdoorEquipCo.com. Again, that is OutdoorEquipCo.com, baby. All right, welcome back to Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. My name is Booner, as always, joined as always with the co-host Matthew Broder, Detroit Lions beat reporter. Let's go! Jalen in the TD booth and Nick in the sound booth as always. And we're gonna get right into it. If you guys haven't already, hit that like button for us, please. Share it with a friend. Tell them about the network and the program, please. We would love 8 to 10 Mondays through Fridays. Do not miss out every single Monday through Friday. We will be here every day, 8 to 10. But, Broder, let's get into it here. Detroit Lions Overreaction Monday. Usually we start off the show with NFL Overreaction Monday.
Yeah.
But there was just basically 2 games in a 7-day span, and a lot has happened here with this Detroit Lions team. So we want to kind of get into kind of a little bit overreactions, and it could be good overreactions, I think, as well. I kind of went through the path to where it takes me down the path where I came up with 3 different overreactions to where I think the Detroit Lions will finish the year with.
Okay.
3 different things.
I
don't
that.
know how you went about it. It's easy, you could say that fans are overreacting, or, you know, there's different ways here with the overreactions. And if you guys have any as well, make sure you guys throw them in the chat. We'll read a couple off throughout the segment too. So, Broder, I'll start with you. What's your first overreaction Monday? Number 1 for the Detroit Lions.
So the way I structured it, at least most of mine, are bold statements, and are they overreactions, are they not? My first one is Jared Goff a poor man's Matt Ryan?
Oh, my gosh.
We don't actually have to talk about this one very much, but
my gosh.
I just thought it was hilarious how Ryan Fitzpatrick, that's what he said to Jared Goff, and Goff came right out and called him. Matt Ryan's not the worst quarterback in the world, by the way. He did win an MVP. Yeah, he did win an MVP.
And
so
he won it 1 year after what Jared Goff is right now. I think Jared Goff might be 28, 29.
Yeah,
I think he won it after the age that Jared Goff. So Jared Goff's still a little behind in his career, like a couple years back.
I wouldn't mind a little MVP action there for Jared Goff in the next 1 or 2 seasons. I think it's going to be a top 5 finish, but I'm going to say that Jared Goff. Here's my first real one. This is a statement. Is this an overreaction or an underreaction, Booner? Jared Goff is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL this season.
Top 5? Will he finish, or is he right now?
At this very moment.
I did have that conversation Friday. We did talk about it, and I did make that statement that he potentially could be. And I did tell you I wanted to wait until the end of Sunday to see. But no, it's Sunday's over. Top 7.
I think I'm probably going to have him around that same. I think top 5 is a little bit of an overreaction at this point.
Yeah.
But he's trending that way. I mean, he's doing everything you could ask him. Even the last 3 weeks, he's thrown an interception each of the last 3 games, but still managed to lead, except for the Seattle game.
Because who do you put, Tua?
No, I mean, I think Patrick Mahomes, Josh
Allen.
I could still put Jalen Hurts up there.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow.
I will not put Joe Burrow there right now.
He's at the bottom right now. I see.
Like if we're talking right now, like the question you asked right now, maybe I would even put like a Justin Herbert. He's above him in yards right now. 7 touchdowns, 1 interception to Goff 6 and 3, and then maybe I'd go Goff at 6 or 7.
He's right there. He's right on the outside looking in.
I said it Friday. He's top 7 in every quarterback category, basically.
Bizarre.
In the NFL. And last year he finished top 6 in every quarterback category. So he's there. Let me do mine here real quick.
Yeah.
Number 1. This is a foreshadow for later in the show. We have a little segment about the defense. But the Detroit Lions will end the season with a top 10 and a top 10, or top 10 defense and a top 10 offense.
Wow.
With both.
Wow.
It's a lot of things going on outside right now.
There, I hear those sirens.
Top 10 in both categories.
I don't think that's an overreaction.
No?
I don't. Their defense might end up just on the outside of that, but the way they look right now, the way they're trending, I think they definitely have a chance to do it. That defense could totally sneak in at 10-9 or 8.
I have some stats later because we're going to talk about the Aaron Glenn defense. We're going to talk about last year to this year, so I don't want to give up too much from this because we have more overreactions. But right now they're on. I'm just going to say they're on track to be top 10 in both right now.
Yeah.
So if they're top 10 in both, this is a scary football team. I'm just going to throw that out there. I'm going to leave it out there. Do you want me to do my number 2 real quick?
Please, Booner.
Number 2, I have the Detroit Lions at the bye week will be 6-2. I don't know if that's I don't think that's actually that big of an overreaction. 6-2. That means they lose one more game before the bye.
I'd almost call that like an underreaction or
7-1 would be overreaction.
I think they have 7-1 in them. I think 6-2 at the bye week is the floor. It's what I expect. If there's anything less than 6-2.
The thing with it though is you have to go on the road to play the Baltimore Ravens. We just saw what Lamar Jackson did to that Cleveland Browns defense. That's scary. That does scare me a little bit. Andrew put in the chat 7-1. Corey Berry, I would be happy with 6-2. Peaceful Tim asked which one we're losing. I have the Ravens.
Would be the Ravens.
Game. It's just on the road. You just saw what the Ravens did. They did it in Cleveland, I'm pretty sure, versus the number 1 defense in the NFL. So that's where I'm like, all right, if I had to give and choose and pick one game, it would be them.
I can't figure out the Browns right now.
The Bucks game scares me too a little bit.
That's a trap one. Just got moved to 4:15. You got flexed.
4:25.
4:25.
And I think that might be America's game of the week. I'm guessing because usually that's the 4:25 game. I could be wrong. Is anyone?
You're gonna be there, right, Nick?
It's America's game.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is that always on Fox?
Yeah, 4:25.
Yes, sir. I'll be there. It's gonna be crazy down in Tampa.
Travel at all?
Gladly, I leave Monday. That's why I'm also. It's like later in the day Monday, but this is better for me, I think, because you get more time to pregame a little bit. Plus, it's not as hot and blazing right at 1 o'clock.
That's
you know,
true.
So it's going to be a great time down in Tampa. I'm looking forward to that game.
Broder, what's your second one here?
My second one is the Detroit Lions are a top 5 team in the NFL right this minute.
Easy.
Overreaction or underreaction?
Top 5 team in the NFL right now.
I just heard an easy out of Jalen in the booth. I think easy top 5. Is that what you were insinuating?
Easy top 5. And we got a top 5 quarterback.
Hot takes coming from the booth in there. I like it. What do you think, Booner, about the top 5 team?
Top 5 team, I don't know. Philadelphia Eagles, 49ers, Chiefs, Ravens, Bills.
We're better than the Ravens.
I don't know. It's close. It's like you're.
I know it's either
and the Cowboys. It's like those. Oh, the Dolphins. No, not top 5.
5, 6,
Dolphins
7?
are above the Lions right now, even with the loss in Buffalo.
This is
6, 7 for sure.
This is a tricky one.
It's like when we do our power rankings tomorrow, I'll probably have them at like maybe at 5 just because the Dolphins lost. Most likely at 6.
Who was the list again?
Eagles, 49ers, Chiefs, Bills, either Cowboys or Dolphins.
Okay.
I mean, it's
we're pushing.
You're right there.
You can hold the door a little bit for us.
It's just like when we do our power rankings that you're like with the power rankings you have them at 6 or 7. Like we had them at 6 or 7 last week.
Yeah.
And it's just there's just teams that there's so many 3-1 teams and there's some good ones. I wonder with the chat if they. Tyler said I think we are 5.
I'll make a poll. Let's see.
That's a good one.
I
do think they're going to come in. I haven't done my power rankings yet, but I'm feeling a 6 or a 7.
6. It might be 6 for me.
And not because I don't believe they are top 5. That makes sense, or could be. It's the more I see the Falcons and the Packers, like depending on how good those teams actually end up being, these might not be as strong of wins as we think. But like at this very moment, they did what they needed to do in both of them.
Dude, if we're talking overreactions too, and I told you we'll probably talk about this when we talk about the NFL. I tried to tell you guys all very, very much on Friday, and just to kind of gloat a little bit here, the Dolphins and Bills game, that there's zero chance that Dolphins team puts 70 up and then the next week shows up on the road at Buffalo. That was the easiest bet I ever hit in my life. That was the easiest call I ever had in my life. And it's just there was no chance. So like I can't take the Dolphins from going from the number 2 in my power rankings all the way down to 6 and the Lions pass them. I can't.
Especially if the Bills are climbing. If they're as good as you think they are.
The Bills are the number 2 probably to me in the NFL. You just went on the road and played them at Buffalo, which is a tough place to play.
Oh, yeah.
So top 5, that's...
You and I were the only 2 to pick the Bills to win.
That's tough.
Yeah. Give me your third.
Third here. The Detroit Lions defensive line will finish in the top 3 in sacks in the NFL by the end of the season.
Ooh.
And to put this in perspective, last year the Detroit Lions had 39 sacks as a team. And top 5 last year would have been 45. So if they had 6 more sacks last year, it would have been 45 sacks. Right now, through 4 games, even with them only having 1 sack in the first 2 games, they're on track for 55 sacks this year. And that would put them, and that's if I did the math right, guys. I'm pretty sure I did the math.
That would be 10 more than last year?
That would have been 10 more than last year. No, that would have been
10 more than the top 5 last year.
The top 5 last year. That would have been good for second place in the NFL last year.
You sure about your math?
55. I think I did the math right. I did it like we can walk through it on the air here. I did 13 divided by 4, right? That's 3.25 sacks per game, and if you times that by 17, that's 55.25. So
that makes sense.
If I did my math wrong, please let me know. But I'm pretty confident 55 sacks are on pace for right now is pretty correct.
It's when you say that, it doesn't seem like an overreaction. Like, they could even maybe end up at 50 sacks, and that still seems like better than the top 5 last year. But I'm going to say it's an overreaction. I don't think they're going to keep up the pace that they're on these last 2 games. I certainly think they'll finish in the top 15, but at top 3, I don't know. I worry about the other playmakers other than Aiden Hutchinson. Like I know it's worked out. It's been spread around pretty evenly these last 2 games. I just don't know. I need to see it for a couple more.
Show me.
Show us.
Show us. No, I think that's possible. Because right now you're on pace. I think you're getting, I can't remember what I said, however many it is a game. You literally started the season with 1 in 2 games. If you just go out there and get, 3 a game right now, which that defensive line is starting to step up, and they're stepping up even more. They're getting more comfortable. I don't think, someone said, QD said, I'm not copying Booner's math homework. Was I wrong, guys? I'm pretty sure I did that correct. Math was my best subject in high school.
Where did the 13 come in all of that?
What do you mean the 13?
How'd you get to 13?
We're at 13 right now.
Okay.
So right now we're averaging 3.25 sacks per game.
I like it. I'm trusting you.
And if you multiply however many you're averaging a game by 17, because there's 17 games, that's 55 sacks.
Yes, sir.
You're averaging just over 3 a game right now. Don't question my math. I'm just kidding. What's your last one here, brother?
My last one. This is on our Jamison Williams returning. Overreaction or underreaction? Jamison Williams' return leads to the Lions getting the number 1 seed in the NFC and a first-round playoff bye.
Is there a way I can go in the middle on that?
That's why it's a tricky question. That's why I made it hard on you.
Because it's not an overreaction because they're going to be fighting for seeding.
Overreaction. San Francisco 49ers
San Fran
are tough.
Is so good. I don't think they like to be called San Fran, by the way. So the 49ers.
So call them it.
Yeah. I guess we are kind of their rivals now.
Their schedule I've been looking at, it's kind of booty right now. Like it's not hard. They end with Rams, Commanders. They play the Cardinals twice. I don't know, man. They might have a little easy route to that first seed, and I think they're the best team.
I have a bet right now going for it's the last team in the NFL to get a loss, so the last undefeated team. And I have the Eagles at plus like 350. So I'm just banking on the Eagles 49ers right now. And the Eagles they definitely have a tougher schedule, I think, the next 5 or 6 games than the Dolphins.
Eagles have a tough schedule.
49ers. They do. I mean, they play the Dolphins in a couple weeks, so I'm nervous about that.
They do. Well, We're going to be talking about Jameson Williams a little bit more in a second. But first, let me tell you about Mark White Real Estate. Because when buying or selling real estate, flexibility and control over the sales process is key. So sellers, how would you like the freedom canceling your listing agreement for any time or for any reason at any time with no penalty? That's exactly what you can do with the Mark White & Associates minute-by-minute listing agreement. So if you're looking to buy or sell real estate, visit markwhitesells.com or call 248-290-8242. Again, markwhitesells.com, where flexibility meets success.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Just in time for football, Glorious Cannabis is dropping a new ice water bubble hash infused pre-roll called Honolulu Blue. It smells so good, it's like the whiff of the first playoff win in 31 years. It's a gassy, aggressive strain named in the honor of Detroit football. If you haven't had one of these ice water pre-rolls, you're missing out. So smooth. Find them at Dispo Dispensary for 25% off. Code word Woodward Glorious. www.gloriouscana.com.
Whoa.
little pivot.
That little song really threw the intro off, I'm not gonna lie.
My bad, boys.
I thought I changed it with my "Let's go, baby." I thought I did that. That was like a whoa, that got me. But welcome back to Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. My name is Booner, joined as always with Matthew Broder, Detroit Lions beat reporter, Jalen in the TD booth, Nick in the sound booth. Make sure you guys hit that like button if you haven't. Tell a friend about the show. Let's get more people in here talking about the Detroit Lions, talking about Detroit sports, everything we have every single night.
Do we have an update on the Monday Night Football game?
I'm trying to see. I know Jalen said that
it got overturned.
It got overturned.
Yeah.
Never mind. Ooh.
K9 had a long touchdown run that got overturned.
Yeah, it got overturned.
Was it just a holding call?
No, I think he was down. And he kept going, so they called it back, and Gino just got sacked, and someone just fumbled.
Oh, no. It's a disaster here. I just need the over, so I just need as many points as possible. But what we're going to do here, there was breaking news Friday, and we were able to actually talk about it on the show Friday for a little bit. We opened the show with it for sure. We just didn't really talk more super in-depth about it and kind of get into the ins and outs of it. But Jameson Williams has been freed. We all know that we've been waiting for it. He was supposed to be week 7 freed, and he's gotten freed after week 4 for week 5. And it's going to be interesting to me, Broder, because Dan Campbell did. You know what? I said before the show here, you were at the press conference today. I don't know if anyone in the chat watched the press conference, Dan Campbell. I was shocked that there wasn't more Jameson Williams questions.
You were?
There was one at the beginning. Didn't even realize it was him. It was about him because you can't hear the reporter really. I was in shock that there was like not multiple questions about Jameson Williams at the press conference.
I think the other media members, I think we knew we were getting the business from Dan Campbell. Like he wasn't going to give us. He wasn't going to really open the door on their plans for JMO, his schedule returning, how many snaps he's going to get. It seemed like everything he was talking about, he was almost wanting to temper the expectations. And the way I read into it could be read a couple different ways. I do think there's a little bit of gamesmanship to it with the Carolina Panthers. I think there might be more coachmanship or coach speak,
kind of like the David Montgomery stuff.
Yes,
that's like exactly what he did.
Yeah, but I think too from an internal Detroit Lions locker room level, I I don't believe he wants to just hand the keys over to Jameson. Hand the keys to the Ferrari right off the bat. They do need to work him into the offense. They need him to get comfortable. He didn't have the cleanest training camp and off season. Yeah. So there's so much that they want to accomplish with Jameson Williams. I put this into the category of how they didn't just give Jack Campbell the starting job at middle linebacker. When we knew Sam Laporta was going to be the tight end number 1, he never came out and admitted that either. It was just, he's still a rookie. He's still dressing in the preseason, going through all the other normal rookie motions that he's putting everyone else through. So to me, I think this is another situation where Dan Campbell, a former player surrounded by other player coaches, just isn't going to hand it over, isn't going to make it easy for Jameson. He's got to come out
which is
and
fine
earn it.
With me too.
Me too.
I think that's perfectly fine. It's like you said, the Jack Campbell thing. Everyone was like, why is Jack Campbell not on the field? It's part of that. To me, I look at it like this. It's part of that culture to where you have to kind of earn it.
Yeah.
And when you earn it and you kind of get that feeling for it, it makes you that much better as a player. Especially if you're younger. John Macaron here, or Macaron, I might have pronounced his name wrong. Shout out to Doc. He said, I expect Broder to turn on the mic and talk. I think you might be talking about the press conference there. I think.
You want to get it up on the stage?
I would love that.
No, but I agree with you. Look what happened with Jack Campbell. They didn't hand it over to him, and what's happened? Derek Barnes has turned his game up to another level
because he had someone behind him pushing him.
Yes,
he saw a rookie that's there making plays. He's at that next level. He's that, hey, I have to step it up as well. Yeah. With JMO too, the only thing I did want to know, and I guess this is just more a personal kind of thing.
Yeah,
was I just wanted to know, like, did the Lions know this was going to happen? Because then in that case too, my first thought of it was they've been preparing for him to be back week 5, and they might have heard about it a week ago, or they might have known that, hey, something might be happening the next couple weeks. And he obviously came back after week 3, so he's been in the building for over a week now. So were they kind of preparing that kind of, hey, we need you to kind of know this, because there's a chance you're back earlier than expected? That is the only question I kind of think I would have asked or would have liked to know, is just, hey, did you guys know this? And and I know Dan did come out and say he's probably not going to go out there and get 70 snaps like some other receivers. He's probably going to be limited. But like you said, maybe that's gamesmanship. But if they knew about this a week ago, he's been in Detroit and back at Allen Park for over a week now.
That's a good question. And my gut's saying that they didn't know about it before a week, further in the past than a week ago. They probably, if anything, that might be the earliest it was brought to them.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's a great question.
That was the first thing I thought of when I watched the press conference. I was just hoping to hear, obviously the first question was about J-Mo and Emmanuel Mosley. Wanted to hear, that was one, I just wanted to know if they knew. Because all of us, it just came out, it was such a shock.
Yeah.
And I know he came back after week 3 and he was going to no matter what. But I do hope he gets paid for those 2 weeks too.
He should.
The NFL should. He should get 2 game checks.
Without a doubt. If I were him, you couldn't appeal the suspension initially, but if they're still not paying him for these next 2 weeks, that would be ridiculous.
Yeah. Coach Walk said Booner Jones is already over in rushing. Let's go, Daniel Jones. Show those legs off.
What was it, 25 yards?
Yeah, he just got like 10 seconds ago.
Let's go, man. Bang. But so I wrote down some questions and some things here for the Jameson Williams stuff.
Yes.
Where are we at here? Oh, here we go. So biggest thing here I think that we can all look at is obviously whether he's half, he's not fully ready to go on Sunday, but then next week he's fully ready to go. Biggest thing to me is how much this offense is going to open up now.
Yeah.
There's 2 parts of it. One, it's going to open up for other players, like not Amon-Ra St. Brown, but like a Sam Laporta, Khalif Raymond. It's going to open up that much more. If Josh Reynolds might not be out there. He might be out there at times with him. Who knows? But it just opens up that much more because those safeties really have to you have to lock in on a guy like Jameson Williams because the Lions haven't had this big play person or player yet on the team. But the second part to that, outside of the players, is for what it does with Ben Johnson.
Oh, yeah.
Because Ben Johnson, I bet you he's had 2 different playbooks since he's found out about this suspension. And he's had one, hey, this is the one we're going to use before Jameson Williams. We're going to, this is the game plan for these games. Here's with Jameson Williams and what we can do. Because as much as people want to be like, oh, I see it in the chat here already. Oh, let's just treat him like a normal player until he proves something. Listen, if you haven't seen his senior highlights at Alabama, if you didn't watch yes, I know, 5 or 6 plays that he went off last year and had those big runs, he's a different style. He's a different level player.
Yeah.
If he's healthy and he's out there, he changes the game unlike any other person.
whether he touches the ball or not.
Amon-Ra changes the game. Jahmyr Gibbs changes the game. Sam Laporta does. J-Mo changes it in his own way. That deep threat, that big play. Not even just deep threat, but that big play. Little slant. Catch it, he's to the house, 80 yards. Screen, catch it, he's gone, 40 yards. And I don't think people realize that yet until they start to see it, because we haven't seen. People forget last year he was still coming off an injury.
You're stealing all my go-tos.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
That was my little monologue there for J-Mo. I'm just excited.
No, you're 100% right. You okay?
Did you guys hear that? Yeah, it threw me off a little bit.
No.
I think it's my court here. I have to scoot back a little bit.
But you're 100% right. He is a deep threat, but most people, and why I was laughing, most people think his speed means he's just a deep threat to catch a deep ball. But really, his value's in the short to intermediate passing games, screen passes, reverses, short slants to just get him the ball in space. I mean, you've heard me say this before about Jared Goff. He gets the ball to his weapons in space where they can do something with it. That's everything that Jameson Williams can do. But the thing about Jameson Williams, very similar to Jahmyr Gibbs, but on another level up, he can take any ball he touches to the house like this. He needs a little bit of space, and he could be gone.
Breaks one tackle.
Yes, and that threat, just what you were saying, that threat in the offense, the things that Ben Johnson can do to scheme Jahmyr Gibbs now in other areas. You said Amon-Ra might not be as open. He will be as open, I believe. They're just different matchup nightmares that Jameson Williams creates. They can't just have two people shadowing Amon-Ra all the time. They can't play press zone or press man coverage all the time because they don't know what Jameson Williams is going to do. They can't get beat by him. They can't get beat by Amon-Ra. And then what do you know? You got Gibbs and Khalif Raymond as these kind of secret weapons that who knows how Ben Johnson's going to get him in the offense. We haven't even seen Gibbs yet.
Hey, we haven't, and I want to make. There's two comments here that I kind of want to address. Corey Berry, shout out Corey Berry. Appreciate you tuning in a regular. He said, I think people just want to see consistency from J-Mo.
Yes.
Motor City Dan Campbell alluded to it in his presser. Save that one as well. And Peaceful Tim, again, another viewer here. Shout out Peaceful Tim. He said, let's all watch highlights and wait for Gibbs and J-Mo to be good for our team. And then he put a thumbs down. Listen to both of those comments there. There's two things with it. One, Jahmyr Gibbs. He is a rookie. We could say anything we want. The morning shows talked about it all the time. Christian McCaffrey was drafted higher than Jahmyr Gibbs, correct? And go look at his games through 4 or 5 games. It takes
They're both 12.
Both 12. So it takes guys a little bit of time, especially like Bijan went into a situation to where he wasn't on a great team. Falcons aren't great. He's their best player instantly. Jahmyr comes into a team that's already a top 10 offense. He's coming into something that he has to kind of get into. And then let's allude real quick. Let's go back to the Jameson Williams thing, correct? And I'm not sticking up for him. I know there's people like Flannel and like people who like really have criticism for him at times. Jameson Williams, Dan Campbell talked about this in the offseason. When he got hurt at Alabama, first of all, last year, he didn't even have a training camp. He didn't start practicing until almost halfway through the year. He didn't have a training camp until this year for almost 2 years. So a player, and I'm sure any NFL player, any football player, any NBA player, any professional athlete will just be like, hey, we're playing at the highest level in the world. And I get fans want him to be at that level, but you have to really like take it with a grain of salt a little bit to where he tore his ACL in the national championship game or whatever he did to his knee. It took him he still came back pretty quick.
Yeah.
And we all knew what we were getting into when Brad Holmes traded up to draft him, and we knew that he might not even play that season. And when he came back, we knew he wasn't going to be full. We knew that he wasn't going to get the touches. Like, we knew the situation. Going into this year, the suspension obviously throws us all off, and we want to see it. But you can't say, like the comment about watch his highlights and see what happens, you can't say that he's not a great player just because he hasn't showed it, because he's had a torn ACL and he's been suspended. He still has that potential. He still has that ceiling. That does not change.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at with it.
No, he's a special type of athlete, and yes, he still needs to go out and perform consistently, reliably. These are the words Dan Campbell used in his press conference. He needs to go out and prove it, but to me, he's an athlete unlike any athlete I've ever seen before, and he's going to completely transform this offense and help out his teammates on the offense. We saw a lot of drops in the offseason. We saw some sporadic practice in training camp. The way I sort of correlate it is, young baseball players when they're making the transition. They're turning a double play ball, and you're getting it, and you're trying to get the ball from glove to hand over to first base. Sometimes you turn your head too quick. You're worried about the throw before you actually catch the ball. Yep. I think there's just a lot going on in his head right now. He's fast. The game's fast. He wants to be special. So as these things happen, he just got a little ahead of himself. He catches the ball, and he's already thinking about the 70 yards to the end zone that he's running. So I'm not as worried about the drops. When he catches the ball, you can see he has soft hands, and the drops were a problem this offseason, this training camp, and in the preseason. But it's not something that I'm worried about. To me, it's about running the right routes, having a relationship with Jared Goff, being in the right spot, and that is what Dan Campbell said today. But to me, I think those are the most important, because if he does those things, his athleticism will take over. And again, he is special. He's in the Tyreek Hill category of special.
His ceiling is that.
Yes, his ceiling actually might be higher than Tyreek Hill.
It's a special
incredible
player for sure. And I saw people in the chat, and the great points from a lot of people in the chat is like the studying and everything, like you said, Broder. That's something that he should show up and be. He was in training camp this year, so that's why when he plays next week or the week after, whenever he's fully ready to go, he should be at that form to where he's ready to go, like it's week 1 for him, like it's the Kansas City Chiefs game for him. I hope it is, but we're gonna go to break real quick. When we do come back to Broder, I do want to get real quick I put it in the prep. I do want to get your stat prediction for him, because he's going to be playing 13 weeks. So I would like to hear your stat prediction. That's interesting.
I'll get it on the way out. Or on the way back in.
On the way back in. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yep. So I'm going to tell you guys about Guardian Alarm real quick. Guardian Alarm, customized solutions from real experts, our professional technicians. Take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. 24/7 professional monitoring. Call us any day or night, and know that a Guardian Alarm team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. Technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology that is proven to work, and people who have been proven to care. Make sure, right out there on the screen, if you want to talk to Guardian Alarm and get a great defense, call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists, and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests, for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
For over 60 years, Fairway Packing Company has provided Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef, Wagyu beef, and dry-aged beef. Experience the Fairway difference for yourself today. Visit the steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods for grab-and-go steaks, or order online at fairwaypacking.com.
Jameson Williams is back, baby. Let's go.
He back.
He is back.
And he's fast.
And we are back as well. Welcome back to the Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. My name is Booner, and joined with Broder over there with all those bobbleheads and no mustache. It throws everyone off, I know. I'm sorry, everyone. Can't believe we did it. We have Jalen in the TD booth, Nick in the sound booth. Real quick, if you guys can hit that like button if you haven't already. Make sure you tell a friend about the show, and share 8 to 10 every single night, Mondays through Fridays. We're slowly growing here. But let's real quick, we're going to kind of go back to this Jameson Williams conversation, just because I had one last question in the prep here, and it was just, now that JMO's back here, 13 games, before it was 11 games, with 13 games, I want to hear your stat predictions, Broder. I have mine down. Mine might, as I think about it more, I might change it a little bit, but I want to hear yours real quick. Okay. What do you have? Touchdowns and yards for JMO.
I'm going to go around 900 yards and 7 touchdowns, which I think still averaging it out
13 games.
You're above 65 yards per game, I'm assuming. It's a tough one because I do think Jameson Williams is going to have games where he catches 3 balls for 29 yards, but then he's going to have a game the next week where it's 4 catches for like 125 because he's getting a 65-yard touchdown reception, a 45-yarder. So it's tricky, and I don't know how they're going to use him.
Yeah.
But I do think he's going to get the ball. I think he's going to find the end zone more than we would think.
That was one thing that I had in mind is touchdowns was definitely going to be a key in mine. I do think he's like we saw last year. Like Neil says it all the time, even though most of them didn't count besides one. That almost every time he touched the ball, it was a touchdown.
Yeah.
And it was like he touched the ball 4 or 5 times and ran each one to the end zone, and some got called back. He stepped out on one, so there was different things. But like the 900, that's a lot to me because him coming back just into this offense, it's interesting because it's whether like do you think he's going to be that top 20 wide receiver right away in the NFL because Jalen Waddle's the 20th in yards per game at 70 yards per game, and that's basically on track. If you're getting 17 in 13 games, if you get 900, you're getting 70 yards per game. And that's like true. Top 20 in the NFL. So I put here, originally I put 700 yards, 6 touchdowns, and then I also put 2 or 3 rushing touchdowns.
Interesting.
So it would have been 9 total touchdowns.
I like that because, again, I do think he finds the end zone. He's not a big body red zone threat where you're just going to throw the ball
Jet
up.
Sweep, I can see him taking 1 or 2 off.
He's slippery. He finds a way to just get inside the pylons in weird and unique, creative ways.
And you know, they've used Amon-Ra St. Brown a couple times in the red zone for those plays, and he scored. Like, we've seen guys like him score. I did end up, though, here, guys, I changed it. 700 was it. Before the show, I ended up switching it to 800, and that was just, to me, that was him getting about 60 yards per game, 62 yards per game, because I do think he has that breakout ability.
That's a
to
good
where
number.
You're going to see a couple games out of nowhere where he has like 150 yards later in the year.
That's a good number.
I just think like you're going to see.
I did probably overshoot it a little bit.
He's not going to get 70, 80, 100 yards every single game, but he's going to have multiple games, I think, to where you see him get 120.
Yeah.
And it's just going to one of those games to where they hit him with a slant that goes for 80 yards, and then he has a couple other short. Because the thing is, he isn't going to get 8 touches like Amon-Ra St.
No.
He's going to get 4 or 5 touches, maybe 3 or 4 sometimes.
1 or 2 might be a wide receiver screen where he gets tackled, a 1-yard gain or 1-yard loss because just it happens. It's a good point. I got to think about this.
Yeah, and if you guys could throw in your chat, we're going to move on in the chat. We're going to move on to kind of our next segment here. If everyone can drop your predictions, how many yards you think he'll get and how many touchdowns. Because it is interesting to me. And just take into account he was playing in 13 games, and that first game for sure will be on a limited snap count.
That's actually another great point to it. Dan Campbell said he's not going to be getting 60 snaps.
Yep.
They're going to ease him into it. We'll see.
So yeah, that's just interesting to me. But let's move on a little bit here. Injury updates. Emmanuel Mosley back. Kirby Joseph, no update yet.
No, not yet.
You would think he's back though. 10 days off. I don't know if you guys heard anything around Allen Park, but what are your guys' thoughts on Emmanuel Mosley here? Was there a lot of talk about him
a little bit
in Allen Park?
There was nothing about Kirby. Dan Campbell was keeping his mouth closed on that topic. Again, I don't know why. I expect that to be a little more gamesmanship than some of the other ones, but you never know. A hip injury for a safety, we've talked about it on the show before. It's not the easiest to come back from. If they think they can, sneak out another week of rest, maybe get him through the Carolina game, so he's back 100% instead of coming back at 90%, risking injury, maybe they do it. But Emmanuel Mosley, this is the guy. This is the player who could make a absolutely humongous difference for this team that they're going to start easing into game action this week. We will see him, barring any setbacks this week during practice. We're going to see him against Carolina on Sunday. How much? That's to be determined. That he's going to have a governor throughout the week, and even during that game, watching his snap counts, limiting his snap counts so he doesn't push it too fast. But they're going to start inching him into the game. I expect to see him for 3 or 4 series minimum against Carolina. Yeah. They're probably going to work him up to that conditioning throughout the week, but they want Emmanuel Mosley back for the heart of the season, and using this Carolina game, hopefully they get ahead early and against Tampa, using that game also to just get him that much more ready for the heart of the season, and near the second half of the season, I should say, is important.
I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong too, Broder, and we got to keep saying it, you're around Allen Park. So like, I feel like there's two position groups with all these injuries who are taking like a bigger hit. One, the offensive line, and then the secondary. It seems like this week, like Emmanuel Mosley's finally going to be back. Limited, but he's back. And then Kirby Joseph, my guess is that he's going to be back the next 2 weeks. Like this defense here, I put it down here for the secondary. Right now, the Detroit Lions pass defense is 17th in the NFL.
Okay.
4 yards per game. 17th, they're giving up 17th. You would think, obviously, with CJ out, it's tough. But you would think that you're about to add Emmanuel Mosley to that. You're about to add Kirby Joseph to that. I'm pretty sure last year our passing defense yards per game was like 30th maybe.
It was very, very low.
If it wasn't 30th, it might have been 29th. So you're at 17th already, and you're going out there right now with Tracy Walker, who's been unreal, Brian Branch, who's been unreal, and Iffy, who has been unreal. Now you're able to add back Kirby to that. Emmanuel Mosley to that with Jerry Jacobs and Cam Sutton. They can only go up from 17.
They have to, right?
They're at 17. Last year they were at 29 or 30. You can only move up. That's like the most positive thing out of these. I know it's like we don't want to we hate injuries. Take a positive from it is that these guys are getting healthy again, and you're 17th. That secondary is 17th in the NFL.
Yeah, these guys are getting healthy, and Iffy and Tracy Walker are getting even that much more experience. And not only that, they're playing well.
Yes,
like you can't underscore how important Tracy Walker and Iffy have been over these last 2 weeks.
For a guy who was like what 5th or 6th on the depth chart with safeties, CJ goes down, Kirby gets hurt. Brian Branches obviously takes that second. Iffy has been unreal.
He has. Did something happen? I see a lot of excitement.
Yeah, DK just caught a touchdown.
DK touchdown?
Yeah.
Touchdown, DK.
Let's go. I don't have DK, but that's just points, man.
Sorry.
But
just points. We need points.
Emmanuel Mosley, what he does to this defense, he might have more of an impact than we think. He's the type of cornerback that can come. He can play press man coverage on any receiver in the NFL. He was trending to be one of the top cornerbacks in the league before he got hurt.
Dude,
and that fits right into what Aaron Glenn wants to do on defense. He wants to blitz more. This team against the Packers, they had 5 sacks, but they really didn't blitz much, whether that's from the secondary, the linebackers, or different schemes for the defensive line. Having Emmanuel Mosley there with Cam Sutton on the other side and Jerry Jacobs. Let's not forget about Jerry Jacobs, but just for this picture in our head.
Do you think I could be way off on this because I did see it might have been Quandre or who was it that was said Jerry's like a safety as well, like could play.
He's built like
He's built like a safety. Do you think he could kind of? I know CJ's out.
To be honest, he might.
How can you get all 3 of those guys on the field?
I think you could put Cam Sutton at nickel. Cam Sutton played all over the defense in Pittsburgh, and he's got that attitude, kind of like C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
Glover Quinn said that, yep.
Glover Quinn.
That's who it was.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you just have to find a way, and it was the same thing with Brian Branch. You know what it reminds me of, too, that Aaron Glenn did? It's the same thing with Jack Campbell. When James Houston went out, he's like, all right, we're going to put him at the Sam, because you're like, you want to get your best players on the field, and if they can play that at elite level, you want to get everyone on the field.
Yes.
So when Emmanuel Mosley comes back, you're going to be sitting there like, if Jerry Jacobs is out there and he's better, you need to get him on the field. Find a way to get him on the field.
Like Derek Barnes.
Yes, you have to. You just can't sit you want your best defense on the field.
Yes.
So I do trust Aaron Glenn now to be able to kind of figure that out. I think within the next 2 weeks you're going to see Mosley back full, and it's going to be a very, very scary defense.
Yeah. I hope he's.
We're talking defense, I think, next actually too, which this is a little foreshadow here.
Okay.
But this defense is scary, Broder.
It is. It is. I probably wouldn't expect Emmanuel Mosley to be 100% all systems go, but until the Chargers game, maybe. I think these next 4 games are going to be him getting back into that shape.
Yes.
Getting back to 100%. Not to say he's not going to play 75% of the game against the Raiders on Monday Night Football. And again, this is all speculation from my head when I'm thinking. So we just got to wait and see how they use him. But let's get to this break a minute early. We'll come back and we'll talk defense.
Let's do it. I'm going to tell you guys here, I believe about Planet Fitness, baby.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to tell you guys about Planet Fitness real quick. Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone, where anyone, and I mean anyone, they let me, Booner, in there, can feel comfortable and work out on their fitness goals. We are here to help you build a lasting, active lifestyle. At Planet Fitness, you will experience squeaky clean gyms that has tons of equipment, full body workouts in just 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. Make sure for more information or to join today, you go over to your local Planet Fitness or head over to I almost said www. planetfitness.com, where your fitness is essential.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. Try our new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. Turn up the heat with Bob's Hot Chicken Sandwich. Upgrade those regular fries with our chili cheese fries or loaded baked potato fries. Hit your sweet tooth with funnel cake fries or Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake. Load up on all your favorites today at Big Boy.
How would you like to see famous athletes like Jim Harbaugh, Darren McCarty, and Braylon Edwards play golf with average Joes? Well, thanks to Randy Wise Automotive and Woodward Sports, you will be able to do just that. It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour, so why don't you make the wise choice and pay attention to Woodward Sports for more info soon.
Defense! What a song there. Welcome back to Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. My name is Booner, joined by Matthew Broder, Detroit Lions beat reporter. Look at that Blitz, NFL Blitz shirt. That is a beautiful thing there.
Barry Sanders, Deion Sanders.
I just saw the Barry Sanders statue for the first time yesterday.
How awesome was it?
It was awesome.
It was like the best statue you've ever seen.
I literally just went from seeing Miguel Cabrera's final game to going to see the Barry Sanders statue. So it was a great Sunday for me in Detroit.
2 on the Mount Rushmore of Detroit sports, without a doubt.
Unbelievable, man. What a day that was in Detroit yesterday, if you got to enjoy it. Make sure you guys hit that like button, though, real quick, if you haven't already. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're over 50,000 now. We're continuing to grow quick.
We're growers, maybe not showers.
Yes, the next big thing in Detroit sports here. 8 to 10, Woodward Nights. Tell people about it. But, Broder.
Yeah, you shook.
Man, these jokes.
Nice shirt, by the way. Is that heavy? Shout out to heavyweights.
Heavies. Nice little shirt. It's a little. I need to wash it so it shrinks a little bit.
Hey.
I don't know how that stuff works. I'm not great with laundry like that, but
dry it on high heat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out. Co-host has my back. I got him. Teaches me how to do laundry.
Yeah.
But let's get into it here real quick. If you guys can, maybe we should open the phone lines. What do you think, Broder?
I think we should open them.
Let's open them. So the number here is...
I think we should, right?
I think we should. We're going to open them up. We're just going to start taking calls. We're not going to go to the calls instantly, but we're going to try and get some calls in, and then once we start getting more, we'll start taking them throughout the show.
Let's get on the hotline.
Because we did say last Friday we're going to open them up every single night.
Yeah.
That seems to be a thing that people are telling us.
I feel like it's a nighttime. This is the time where we got to at least take a couple calls each night.
It is.
In the night.
Maz did tell me, he said people like to call at night.
Yeah.
Everyone's at home, wants to call. So if you guys want to call in, give us your take on the Detroit Lions. We're actually going to talk about their defense right now. But the number is 313-552-6322. Again, that is 313-552-6322. We'll throw that in the chat, and we will pin that for sure for you guys. But, Broder.
Booner.
Detroit Lions defense. Voice cracked a little bit there. Comparison from the 2022 season to the 2023 season.
Epic.
I have stats for you guys.
Give it to me, Booner. Give it to me. Give me the butter, baby.
This is the rankings for the defense from rushing, passing, and overall. So last year, 2022, the Detroit Lions were ranked 30th, and this is all yards per game, by the way, just in context to it. They were ranked 30th in pass defense. This year, 4 games in, 17th in pass defense.
Wow.
So, and that's without C.J. Gardner-Johnson now. That's with Kirby Joseph being hurt. 17th, so 13 spots up. Rush defense. Are you ready for this one, everyone? Everyone, put everything down. This is going to shock you guys. The Detroit Lions went from the 29th rush defense in yards per game last year, and guess where they're at today? The Detroit Lions are the #1 rushing defense in the NFL at the moment.
Thanks for getting me hard, JB.
#1. Jalen, do we have that graphic that I threw in there? The one talking about that?
Which one, Boom?
It's a Detroit Lions rush defense, and it has kind of the yards per game. It has.
I got our rankings right here for some defense stuff. Is that it?
Ooh,
we can check it out live. Let's see.
Let's see what that is.
Is that it?
That is not it. But
that's a good one.
That is a good one, though.
I don't know, bro.
I'm gonna see if I can figure out here what it looks like, the picture of it, so I can see the picture. But it has Aiden Hutchinson and Jerry Jacobs on it dancing. That was the one, if it's up there. But either way, the Detroit Lions, Broder, have the #1 rushing defense in the NFL right now. Look at that.
Oh,
the best rushing defense in the NFL, only giving up 60.8 rushing yards per game.
That's impressive. I'm surprised it's even that high.
That is insane.
And the majority has been given up to quarterbacks.
Think about that, Broder.
It's not like they've faced bad running backs either. I mean, Isaiah Pacheco. Yeah, Isaiah Pacheco. Kenneth Walker, Ian Charbonnet, Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier, then Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon.
Yeah. So they locked up.
Wow.
And last stat here I have for you guys. Let's talk about overall defense too, Broder. Because they went last year from the dead last yards per game. 32nd in the NFL. And this is all props too as well to Aaron Glenn. So all that fire AG guys, this is all props to him. 32nd in the NFL. Guess where they're at now? #4. The 4th best defense in the NFL yards per game.
Oh, they laugh when I picked them in fantasy.
32nd to 4.
The Lions?
People laugh when I picked them in fantasy for my defense. People laughed at me.
Turnovers, baby.
Oh, yeah.
You know they're going to get turnovers, takeaways. I like that pick, actually. I took him in the Woodward Sports League.
So that's Lorena said, Booner, when are you going to wear eye black like Hutchinson? Maybe I'll do that one day. If the Lions win like 5 or 6 straight, maybe I'll come in here with that different victory day. But those stats do not lie, and it's an insane thing. You're going from the dead last defense to #4 overall in yards per game.
And that speaks so much to Aaron Glenn.
It does.
Who got so much criticism, whether it was just or not, after week 2 against Seattle, where they really did just come out. I don't want to say laid an egg, because it wasn't. It was a pretty bad defensive effort in a game where we had to win, but the energy was insane with the crowd. But he's been able to make adjustments, and now we'll stretch those adjustments over the last 12, 14 games. He's been able to turn this around. Last year without as much talent, now he has even more talent, and he's able to put these guys in the right positions to then move up to the #4.
Let him cook.
Like, if you had said any number lower, as in higher than 10, I'd have been like, he's got to be assistant coach, whatever the award is for the top assistant coach of the year coordinator. He's got to be up for it. But again, it's still early, but he's done everything we could ask him to, made every adjustment. I'm excited to see how this defense continues to develop throughout the season.
It's crazy too with the injury, like C.J. Gardner-Johnson, with guys, Kirby Joseph's going down. You're still sitting there. Real quick though, I'm going to tell you guys about the Lions pregame show, and then we're going to take a call. The Woodward Sports Live pregame show returns for another season of football. Join Jeff Byfrady with special guest host on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Look at Jeff up there. Before every single game from 9:30 to 11:30, and it might change for 4:30 games. We just got flexed into one, so I do not know if that will change, but we will communicate that with you guys. But this Sunday, 9:30 to 11:30 for the Panthers game. Make sure you tune in. I believe it might be a Ryan Ermanni up here with Jeff Byfrady, and I will be in the chair, Mad's chair. So make sure you guys tune in on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel.
Nick, did you say you had something to say, or you got a call for us?
We got a call for you guys. It's going to be William in Grand Haven. William, you're live.
Is this the William Vanderswag?
Yes, this is the William. What's up, Booner and Broder?
William, welcome back to the show, man. How are you?
Good.
What do you want to talk about tonight?
Now let's talk about that Lions defense.
Oh, let me hear what you think.
Now, Benito Jones, he's been shining in the Atlanta Falcons game and in the Green Bay game. So I think he's going to have another sack against the Panthers. Manny Mosley coming in, I think he's going to get an interception and probably have some TFLs. And then if Brian Branch is playing, I think he's going to have another great game against the Panthers. And Aiden Hutchinson will probably get 2 sacks. And I think that D-line will just be dominant the whole game.
Absolutely, William. We appreciate you calling. Thank you so much.
Oh, we're always calling, William. You're always welcome on the show. I like that too because at the end he ended with the D-line. I believe.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
D-line. We said it last week. Put back-to-back games together, elite games. They did that, and they just keep getting better.
And Lee McNeil talked about it in his press conference today. I don't know if it's up on YouTube yet for everyone to see, but he talked about the chemistry that they're building together on that defensive line specifically, and that their goal each week is to make the opposing offense one-dimensional. And to them, that means it starts with stopping their run game.
Yep.
And they've done that against the Falcons, who are a run-heavy team, the Packers, who are run-heavy. These are teams that want to use the run to then pass, or to pass off the run. They want to go there first. And these are top 5 running back tandems that they've now shut down in consecutive weeks. It's been special. He named Aiden Hutchinson, Benito Jones. How about that fit that Benito Jones was wearing before the game? Man. The orange overalls.
Well, people don't know, too, about Benito Jones. I found out on the pregame show, I think it might have been on Fox 2, was that Benito Jones it was actually at the Lions YouTube page.
It was Danny Rogers. Yes, it was her, was it Inside the Huddle?
Yeah, Inside
the Den. It's the one that Danny Rogers hosts.
Yeah, and he's a farmer.
Yeah.
He has 50 cows and bulls and 12 horses, and he just has he's just a farmer.
Yeah.
And it's just he loves it, which is great. I think that's awesome. I did want to bring this up again real quick, Broder.
Bring it.
Talked about it earlier in the show, but the Detroit Lions finishing the year, it was kind of my overreaction, but the Detroit Lions finishing the year as a top 10 offense and a top 10 defense. And I know we're talking about the defense now, but I wanted to kind of I put something in the prep, and you probably can see it there. But there was only 3 teams last season who were top 10 in both. That is the Buffalo Bills, San Francisco 49ers, and the Philadelphia Eagles.
3 damn good
3
teams.
3 elite teams. And if you look at it right now, this year, guess how many teams are in the top, or who are in both in the top? There's only 5 teams, which I guess if you're the top 10, that's half of them, it's 50%. But still, those teams, the 49ers, the Rams, which is a little surprising,
interesting,
the Kansas City Chiefs, the Buffalo Bills, and then your Detroit Lions. And that's all yards per game as well. That's how I looked at these stats. So if we're talking about being elite and being a contender, the Detroit Lions team top 10 in both.
Those are the teams you want to be in any conversation with. 49ers, Chiefs, Bills, Rams, Philly. I know Rams are in the second one. Maybe they're the one over the last year you don't want. But Bills, Philly, San Francisco, Kansas City, those are the ones. They get deep in the playoffs each year. You expect them before the season to end up in their respective division championship. Just to have the Lions in that conversation is huge.
Those teams do it, too, because they're consistent on both sides.
Yeah.
They have elite on both sides. It looked like something was happening in the game there. But we do have a caller here. Let's take that other caller here. Who's this, Nick?
We have Brett from Iowa.
Brett.
Oh, Brett.
Brett, you're live.
Sam Laporta jersey winner.
What's up, fellas? Can you hear me okay?
We can, Brett. Thanks so much for calling.
Yeah, not a problem. I just wanted to go back a couple of segments and touch base on the Jamal Williams, Jahmyr Gibbs discussion. Okay. I love Sam Flannel to death, but he reads stats. He is the stat king. Something that, I see as a positive light is that, we're winning games without their talent on the field or being showcased 24/7. We don't have to do that as Lions fans. This is the first time in probably 25 years where we don't have to count on one specific player. The offense is so well balanced that, Sam Laporta is going to have a kick-ass game. And then, we're going to run it down your throat for 30 attempts with DeMont. We don't have to use them. So their stats aren't, you're not going to be able to compare, Jahmyr Gibbs to Alvin Kamara or anybody else because of the depth and the weapons we have on this offensive team. And then that's all I have to say about those guys. And then the other thing I wanted to ask of you is, we've got $19 million in salary cap. What do you two want to see done with it?
I have a question or answer for that, actually. I was thinking about this yesterday.
So I'll hang up and listen. I appreciate you guys. Love hearing you at nights, and go Lions.
Thank you, Britt. Hey, we appreciate you. Call at any time as well.
Thank you, Britt.
Yep.
Let me answer that second question, Broder.
Do the second question, then we'll come back to the first question after the break.
Yeah, so I was thinking about this. When I was with my cousins at the game yesterday, we had this conversation. You have $19 million in cap space, right? What are you going to have to do after this next offseason? you have to extend a few guys, right?
Aiden Hutchinson, Amon-Ra St. Brown.
I think this year will be Panay and Amon-Ra St. Brown, I believe. I think that's this summer. I'll have to double check that because we didn't have that as a segment yet. So maybe we talk about that in a couple weeks. But
is this all real quick? Is it that $19 million? Can that be you? Does that carry into the offseason? I haven't caught up.
I believe so, but I do think though, like, what you could do, I guess, you could bring a guy on like a Mike Evans who his contract's up at the end of the year, and then you just get that money. Like that money doesn't count for next year. But like if you bring someone in who has a contract already in the next couple of years, that's not.
Yeah.
That's going to be counted towards it. So to me, it's unless you're going to bring a guy in for 1 year, you keep that money because you're going to need to use that $19 million. It's going to be sitting there, and you're probably going to have to send Amon-Ra St. Brown. You're going to have to send Panay Sewell this next offseason, and you're going to have to pay a pretty penny for them. So I think Brad Holmes. I thought about this, popped in my head yesterday. I was like, I think Brad Holmes kind of knows that. And he's not like just sitting overly like, hey, let's get down to zero with our cap space. Like we know we have dudes already. We know we can win with these guys. They're still growing and learning. So let's kind of take a step back. And
there's still weeks where players can get injured. Like we still have time before the trade deadline. You don't need to go make that move now, especially with
Jonah Jackson, Jared Goff. Sorry to cut you off.
No, that's right. Jonah Jackson is actually a great one that he might be one of the first to get re-signed. But I believe we have 2 reads in a row here.
We do.
Are you Hamlin?
I'll hit you one here real quick. Hamlin Pub here. Have you ever wanted a bar where you're a regular? I have for sure. We have just the place for you. Head to one of Hamlin Pub's 7 locations and experience where everyone's a regular, whether you're enjoying anything. Half off pizza on a Thursday or game day specials available during all Michigan sports and NFL games. Hamlin Pub is the place. Make sure you visit a location today and experience your new favorite pub for all things. I will be heading there for sure.
That sounds
like a
good.
great spot. I will be going there.
And I don't know if you can take your pets with you, but at Premier Pet Supply, when it comes to your pet, don't settle. Give your pet the best with Premier Pet Supply's hands down Michigan's best pet store. Let me scoot on over here in the middle. Family owned and operated for over 13 years. They have 13 different Metro Detroit locations, over 60 brands of food, lowest prices, and curbside home delivery. That's Premier Pet Supply, where you can give your pet the best. www.premierpetsupply.com.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour.
You're a good coach, Tim. Oh, great shot.
Some of the biggest names in Michigan sports, and some, well, not so much.
Good, baby. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, shit. Go in.
Watch episodes at woodwardsports.com.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Do you have football on the brain? Well, fall ushers in college and professional football, and this year is going to be awesome. Fall is also the perfect time for you to shop your home and auto insurance. Shop it like a pro with Swiss Insurance. They cover Woodward Sports, and they should be covering you. So ask for Mark at Swiss Insurance today at swissins.com or call 248-800-4177.
Let's go! We are back, baby. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. I've never heard this song before. This is a new song.
We're switching it up in the booth. Let's go.
It's a slow start to that song, though.
Ooh, but it's giving me a little vibe.
Oh,
just wait on it, Boone.
I'm just happy.
I'll get you the big one.
I'm waiting on it. I don't hear it. I don't see anything. But Make sure you guys hit that like button if you haven't already, and tell a friend about the show. Woodward Nights, 8 to 10 every single night, Monday through Friday.
That's us.
We appreciate you guys tuning in. And Broder, real quick, there was the last question there from Britt. We didn't really touch on if you wanted to kind of.
Yeah, I couldn't let it pass because Britt, she made such great points about the usage of Jahmyr Gibbs and eventually Jamison Williams. You don't need to just feed him the ball 30 times. Jahmyr Gibbs, 30 times a game or 20 touches a game, at least yet. Right now, they're playing games that lend themselves to a David Montgomery type game, like that Green Bay Packers game. That's a ground and pound. Let's just take the souls out of them, out of that defensive line, with the offensive line just absolutely pushing forward with the defensive line. Jahmyr Gibbs didn't need to touch the ball 20 times. We're saving his legs for the rest of the season. Ben Johnson has stuff in mind. I think we're just a little too overexcited. We want to see him.
Patience with it.
Yeah, we want to see him. He's excited. But
I think people, like everyone in Detroit, I've hated it for a while, that patience word, because we've heard it for so long. But with Jahmyr, that's exactly what it is. I think you just have to know. Every great running back has had. Some have had great starts. Some have slower, and they get to it. And I think we've seen certain plays that potential,
without a doubt.
But let's get into it. We're going around the NFL here. Overreaction Monday in the NFL now. We already did Detroit Lions overreaction. We're going around the NFL. I messed up a little here when I did my notes. I did hot and cold for it.
That's all right.
Instead of overreaction, so I have 3 and 3. But let's start with you. I'll start with your first overreaction.
Yeah, we'll just go. Maybe I'll do all 3, and then you go all 3, and we'll do it on the fly. We're good. So my first overreaction, underreaction around the NFL. What's up, dog? Bill Belichick, New England Patriots head coach, is on the hot seat.
Wow, I had that.
Did you?
No, because remember I said I did 6, so I did cold and hot.
Got you.
One of my colds was Bill Belichick's and the Patriots and Mac Jones.
Got you. So do you think, is it an overreaction that Bill Belichick's on the hot seat, or do you think that's...
Overreaction, yes.
Okay.
Hot seat is a little overreaction. Are they in trouble and they're seriously like, you're going to have some conversations about Mac Jones? You just pulled Mac Jones in the third quarter and you're 1 and 3, and I saw it all over like everything today about Bill Belichick. I don't know if you want to say hot seat, but it's a tough one.
There's that team should be better. He needs to get a little more creative, a little more innovative. The way the game's changing, it seems like Bill Belichick's a little stuck in his own way. Not to say he's not an incredible coach, but since Tom Brady's left, what has he done?
Yes.
What has he done?
And
has he done anything, Jalen?
No.
Did he go to the playoffs?
I don't think Mac Jones is going to last there, but that's a different story.
I think Mac's already done now.
I thought Bill O'Brien was going to do more for Mac Jones. I'm a little disappointed in that.
Doesn't sound good.
Let me just go a second one in a row because it's another coach. Mike Tomlin will have his first sub-500 season.
No.
This one hurts me.
He won't.
You think he's going to be 500
he always
or
finds
higher?
Dude, this is a thing that happens in the last few years since Ben's left. Even when Ben was older, where it was like, and I'm sure people in the chat will kind of agree with me a little bit here. It's like this conversation happens week 4, week 5, week 6 all the time for Mike Tomlin. Always finds a way,
doesn't it?
Always finds a way. This is like this is like the yearly. Can Mike Tomlin do it? Since he's like that team's taking a step back, always does it. I don't know what it is. Always does it.
Does he have to fire his offensive coordinator?
He might do. I don't know.
They don't look good. I'm very disappointed in Kenny Pickett right now.
Well, the thing is, Kenny Pickett's out, and then I'm pretty sure for a little while, who do they have? Mitch Trubisky. I'm sure they just find a way. I'm sure they find a way though for Mitch Trubisky to win like 4 or 5 games. They always do it. Peaceful Tim said Tomlin's streak will get tougher year by the year. I think it will, yeah. But it just until he does, I can't be like no.
I'm with you.
I'm going to ride that side until it's done, man.
I have a hard time believing it now, but I guarantee you I felt like this in years past. And what do you know? Gets to 500.
I'm going to hit my first one here.
Let's hear it.
And Jalen, do you have a video of me? I don't know if you did it. It was like a video of me in a Michigan polo. Did you see that?
Yeah,
Can you play that real quick for mine?
Just get it up for you.
I don't know how long it is. Number 1, though, and even with Patrick Mahomes, I'm going Josh Allen this year. I think this is the year he's not injured anymore. They were 13-3 last year, and he had an elbow injury. That man is going to cook this year.
But the way they run their offense, though, Josh Allen could re-injure that elbow week 1.
But if he stays healthy, he's dangerous.
Yeah, but 100%. The concerning part, though, with Buffalo.
My overreaction today for the NFL. I just want everyone to know real quick, I've been on that train for the last 3 or 4 months. Overreaction Monday. Josh Allen will win the MVP this season.
Wow.
And guess what? Guess who's the favorite in all sports books to win the MVP right now?
Christian McCaffrey?
Josh Allen is. Christian McCaffrey's low on the list. And running backs, they struggle to win MVP. Josh Allen's the favorite right now to win MVP. Since they lost week 1 to the Jets and he threw, 3 interceptions? They're 3-0, over 800 yards, 8 touchdowns, 1 interceptions, 2 rushing touchdowns. Josh Allen has been the Josh Allen we all thought he was going to be the last few years, these last 3 weeks. And I do know it's only week 4, week 5. But if he does this continuously the next 15 or the next 13 weeks, Josh Allen will win his first MVP, and this Bills team will win that division. They're going to be really good, and they're going to be scary in the playoffs. So I just want to throw it out there, too, because this morning on the Morning Woodward show, when Jeff wanted to talk about Joe Burrow, I love you, Jeff. I just had to address the situation here, though, that my name got thrown in there, that there was a situation where I put in the chat, hey, I said this, and it's very well known that I've been on the Josh Allen train.
You have.
And they were all on the Joe Burrow, and I have another clip of everyone on that show there saying Joe Burrow's their MVP. And he's like, well, you can't use injuries because Joe Burrow's injured. You can't gloat about it and have a victory lap week 4. No, I definitely can, because if Josh Allen was injured right now and Joe Burrow was the favorite, you guys all would be having a victory lap with me.
Yep.
So he said on the show, it was Easy was in the chat and I was in the chat, and we both said Josh Allen this year, and he goes, well, Easy, you're okay, but Booner, you can't talk. No, I can't talk. Josh Allen's winning the MVP this year. I said it 3 months ago. I'm going to stick with it. I will gloat and have a victory lap week 4. That's my overreaction one for today.
Well, you're right, because that is an overreaction, because he's not going to win the MVP this year. Josh Allen.
Shout out Flannel. Flannel's in the chat. Love you, Flannel. And I hear you on the morning show saying that Joe Burrow. Yes, I'm with Flannel, because if you look at every single statistical category in the playoffs and in the regular season, Josh Allen beats Joe Burrow.
What the fuck?
And the only argument that they all have is, oh, he went to a Super Bowl. Guess what? He lost in the Super Bowl. Oh, he beat Josh Allen last year in the playoffs. Guess what? Just like you guys are using the excuse that he's hurt this year, Josh Allen was hurt last year.
Boo. Josh Allen still has to do it.
He does 100%.
But the injury excuse, it can't be an excuse.
Who puts the better stats up?
Injuries are what we have to deal with. I picked the Jets to make it to the Super Bowl and Garrett Wilson to be Offensive Player of the Year. It's definitely not happening without Aaron Rodgers.
Josh will choke sooner or later.
See, that's why he's just got to prove it. He's got all the talent in the
Joe Burrow
world.
did too, because he doesn't have a Super Bowl yet.
Josh Allen has all the talent in the world to win an MVP. In fact, he should be in the race every single year.
He should.
It's just now about how he finishes this season, because he's doing it right now.
Think about it though. Like I'm a Bills dude, so don't get it twisted. But Josh has been to how many AFC championships? Was it 1 or 2?
Maybe one.
That overtime game they lost, right? Joe Burrow's been to how many? Like, was it 2 or 3?
Yeah, but even one of their head-to-head matchups in the playoffs.
Oh, 100%.
Josh Allen, the only reason Josh Allen lost it, or I think it was actually Burrow and the Chiefs versus the Chiefs. I think they also went to the overtime, and Joe Burrow just won the coin toss.
So who
and
do
his
you trust
defense
in the
got to
playoffs,
stop,
though?
and they
who
get
do you
the field
trust?
goal.
You trust him in the playoffs?
I trust Josh Allen 10 times out of 10.
How though? If he never goes to his number 1 receiver.
Go look at look at the playoff stats for Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is not great in the playoffs,
who wins,
even though it's his defense. Go look at this. He has a defense. Josh Allen doesn't. Go look at it.
Who goes farther though?
I get that. He's gone farther. He's gone farther one time.
Josh Allen's been the MVP for like the last 4 years and hasn't made nothing but a Madden cover.
He's gone to the Super Bowl once, and go look at. I don't even think Joe Burrow. I don't even think Joe Burrow's thrown for more than. I don't even think he's thrown two touchdown passes in a playoff game. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he has it. If you look at their playoff numbers, it is staggering how bad Joe Burrow's playoff numbers are. Staggering. Like, it is insane.
No, Josh has his better numbers, but somehow he always falls up short. You know why, though? His main issue is not that he can't play.
Turnovers, though.
He puts Stephon Diggs in hell and never passes him the ball. You have the best receiver at top 5. You never have him. Joe Burrow has Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen have the worst and best chemistry in football because they never do shit in the playoffs.
And they need to. But I'm gonna get some stats though, because I have had this argument with Jeff a lot, and he always brings this up, and I'm sure Flannel has as well if he's still here. If you just look at those stats, it is insane to me, man. Like, it is insane. I'm losing here. Jeff, he always bring up, oh, well, who beat the Chiefs? Bengals beat the Chiefs. Bills didn't. Look at that game. They both went to overtime. Both times they played in the postseason, right?
Yeah.
Who got the coin toss in overtime?
Geno Smith.
I'm pretty sure actually the Chiefs got it both times. The only difference was the Bengals defense got the stop, got them the ball back in field goal range, and they kicked the field goal. And Josh Allen's defense just didn't get a stop, and the game was over.
All I know is Jared Goff has never lost to Patrick Mahomes.
And Joe Burrow never had an O-line either, you know.
That's fair. That is
he
fair.
He never had an
fair.
O-line, and he still wins.
What's I need to go again here.
What happened?
I need to go again one more here.
Here, I'll give you my last one. I got to give credit because I did steal it. I just thought it was an incredible one. This is from Dan Graziano from ESPN. Overreaction or underreaction? C.J. Stroud should have been the first pick in the 2023 NFL Draft.
Oh, that's a good one.
Right?
That's a great one. I did have C.J. Stroud as the number one. I did feel like he was going to be the best quarterback.
My number one pick would be the quarterback that I wouldn't have even taken in the first round, but has proven me wrong, is Anthony Richardson.
AR, yeah.
He looks like he has special in him. And I was not a hater, but I was not a believer. I got to give myself some receipts.
I like that. Someone said overreaction here. I think I see Cody Ingle said overreaction. Real quick, Flannel. The Bills lost a playoff game in which Josh Allen threw for 4 touchdown passes, led the Bills to 36 points, and threw the go-ahead touchdown pass with 13 seconds left. Yeah, Flannel, I'm with you on this. I've had this argument with Jeff and Lucas for the last 8 months. And they just, the only thing they tell me is, he went to the Super Bowl. That's the only thing he has, but he still didn't win one. My last overreaction here before we go to break. I have a couple here. I'm going to pick, I'm going to skip. I had a Joe Burrow and the Bengals are dead. I won't do that one.
They are.
I will go Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey will win Offensive Player of the Year.
Not an overreaction.
He has been insane. This last week he had 177 total yards, 4 total touchdowns. Man is just elite.
Do you know Chris Platty beat me in fantasy, and I had Christian McCaffrey on my roster?
That's brutal.
Yeah, he had almost 50 points on his own.
I did see you had like 3 or 4 guys that had like 1, 0, 2, 3. I've never seen that before. That is insane.
I benched McLaurin. I put in Zach Moss or Jerome Ford, and they got me 0.0.
0.0.
We got Dispo.
Yes, tell us about Dispo.
I tell him, but come on back because we are going to do some more around the NFL and some Lions. But Dispo, where you can experience the true meaning of exceptional cannabis products with the best dispensary around. They've got over 12 locations, including their new one in Whitmore Lake. Dispo's never far away. Dispo in Romeo is now open till midnight every day except Sunday. It truly is the only cannabis mall of its kind. That's Dispo Dispensary, disposhops.com. They are your local cannabis plug.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Gabby is a college student struggling to study for her big exam. Then she discovered Syntron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently has chaotic days like this until she gets online, orders some Syntron, and finds her groove. April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Syntron, and entered to win the Syntron 100K Vegas giveaway. Pick up your case of Syntron today at any Meijer location or visit drinksyntron.com/Vegas and enter for the 100K Vegas giveaway.
Hey, this is Mr. Kearney, Chief Academic Officer, Academy of Warren. I want to welcome you to the brand new field house. The state-of-the-art facility has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, soccer field. It can be used for 7-on-7 football. Our K-8 academic features AM, PM, latchkey, small classroom sizes, Learning Street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Houghton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and more. Enroll today at academywarren.net.
How would you like to win a 100K Vegas getaway?
Would love it.
Take your closest friends like Booner.
Me.
And live it up in the city that never sleeps. I'm Ron Burgundy. It's the Syntron Energy. Drink it and live it. Purchase a 24-pack today and enter to win the 100K Vegas getaway with drinksyntron.com/Vegas and buy Syntron at your local Meijer store. Again, that's Syntron, the healthier energy drink with great taste and the choice of people who desire to look good, feel great, and be the best versions of themselves. Again, that's drinkcintron.com/Vegas.
Let's go, baby! Touchdown in the Seahawks game. They're over.
Did they?
We're a little behind on the over, but things are starting to pick back up here. Let's go. Welcome back to Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. My name is Booner, and joined, as always, with Matthew Broder, Detroit Lions beat reporter, Jalen in the TD booth, Nick in the sound booth. Love the boys, man. We're getting this thing down here, and we're slowly going here. So make sure you guys hit that like button for us so we can keep growing. Make sure you guys hit it. Put a comment too after the stream's over. Throw some comments in there. Give us some feedback. Someone did give me some feedback in the comment section and said, "I hate that Booner kid." So I commented back and said, "Much love you as well." And then there were some other positive comments underneath, like "Screw that guy, Booner." So
such a professional.
Shout out to the people.
That's actually a great thing to bring up. Like if there's anything you guys want to see more of, less of,
throw it to us, man.
Like those comments are actually the best for getting feedback, or DM us on social media.
I love constructive criticism. I tell people like Jesse, I tell people all the time, like, dude, if I'm messing up or something's going, like I love it. Sometimes I get a little frustrated when things happen, but like constructive criticism, especially building a show like this. Anything you guys can think of, man, throw it in the comment section, live chat, anything. Tweet at us, all of that. We're always willing to grow here.
Our goal is to entertain you guys, so you might as well get the feedback from you guys so we can put on the show that you want. That is honestly our goal. So
our goal is to be number one, baby.
What does it take to be number one?
I don't know what that is, but let's go.
Oh, I bet you Detroit Dabber knows what that is.
Shout out Dabber. We're going to get into this, though. We're going to go back here. Detroit Lions. We're getting back into the Detroit Lions for this segment here. The Detroit Lions temperature check. We did this last Monday as well. We do it every Monday, the temperature check. So there's two things here. If you guys are new to the show, temperature check, we're either hot, which to me is something that's getting really good and kind of positive, or cold, something that needs to be fixed and addressed on this Detroit Lions team. So I'll start us off here.
Yeah.
Detroit Lions temperature check. Who has been really good coming off an injury? I'm going to go David Montgomery.
So you're saying this is hot. Your temperature check, David Montgomery's hot.
Good.
He's
good.
He's boiling.
He is boiling hot. I have stats here. Flannel, if you're still in the chat here, I've got some stats from you, or for you, because I know you were a Jamal Williams guy. And I've got some stats here. Right now, David Montgomery is on track through 4 weeks. He's on track for almost 1,400 yards. He is on track to get 1,395 yards. He is right there. He is on track for a 1,400-yard season. He should get 1,000 yards. And guess how many touchdowns he's on track for, Broder?
How many?
What's the record again?
18.
No, wasn't it 20-something?
Oh, all time or Lions?
The one that Barry's that got broken by Jamal Williams.
18.
Was it 18?
I'm 99.9.
17 touchdowns for Jamal Williams.
Okay,
I think 18 breaks it. 18 breaks it.
18 breaks it. Okay, guess what? Guess how many touchdowns, fellas, that Dave Montgomery's on track for?
How many?
26.
26 touchdowns.
And again, that's Booner math again, so I might be wrong with that.
I hope so. He had a plus 430 on FanDuel for 10 touchdowns.
That hits.
And I tweeted that. Also, your boy just scored a touchdown.
Kenneth Walker?
Drew Lock? Who?
Well,
Kenneth Walker?
Booner's boy.
K9?
K9 needed that.
Let's go.
Round of applause. Needed that, fellas. I love following along with the game with the people. But
I know, and Michigan State needs the love.
26 touchdowns. If there's a stat guy in the chat, let's see if that's true, but I'm pretty sure it's 26 touchdowns because he's played in 3 games so far, and he has 5 touchdowns. So he's over 1 per game. So he's on track to beat that record. So all those Jamal Williams guys or people saying, no, he's on track, and obviously it might slow down a little bit, and he's probably not going to get that usage all year, especially if Jameer picks it up a little bit. But David Montgomery's there, man.
I know his game hot. Is one that there were few games that wouldn't lead to David Montgomery at least getting half the carries. I mean, he's here for a very specific set of reasons. Again, the touchdowns, who knows where the offense ends up or how many times he gets that chance, but he's going to be getting that rock all season.
Anytime they're inside the 5, it's going to be or even the 10.
Yeah.
The first 2 downs are going to David Montgomery.
Yeah.
Every time. So he's going to have a chance.
Let me get your other one.
Another one. I had another hot one here.
Hot.
I put the Detroit Lions secondary specifically. I hope I'm not taking one of yours.
No, hey, I got plenty.
Specifically, Jerry Jacobs.
I got rhymes aplenty. Jerry
Jacobs.
Hot.
Think about this, fellas. Really? Hey, really think about this, because 2 weeks ago, I looked in this camera right here that I'm looking at now and challenged Jerry Jacobs. Shout out to him, too, because he's commented on a lot of our posts. He's talked about people, he's challenged himself. He did talk about how some people were saying to cut him. Outrageous. Because guess what he did when he knew Emmanuel Mosley was about to come back? He went out there and got 2 interceptions to help at Lambeau Field helped solidify that win. On top of that, right now, Jerry Jacobs, guess what? He's tied for the lead tackles on the Detroit Lions right now with 25.
That's pretty
with
good.
Brian Branch.
That's pretty good.
So he has been a very good secondary piece. He is hot right now. Even with Mosley coming back, just shows that you have that much more depth on this Lions defense.
See, I'd probably put him in the lukewarm range, or if we're going weather report.
Two interceptions.
That was a great game, but with the return of Emmanuel Mosley, like his stock isn't getting higher. Like he's going to have to start splitting some time. Who did? Oh, Peaceful Tim.
He
yeah,
did as well. Yeah.
Or Overcast if we're talking weather. He's definitely improving his play. It went from rainy a couple weeks ago to more sunshine. So I don't disagree with you. I maybe pull it. It depends on how you interpret the question.
I'm moving it towards the hot side for him.
100%. Let me give you one.
He was on the cold side 2 weeks ago when we did this segment. He's over here for me now.
And that's all we needed out of him. We needed him to just get over to that other side.
Yes.
Boom. I'm going to give you one. It's funny. I had Jerry Jacobs on here also for that reason because I wanted to see where you could go with it. Before I tell you what I think, I'm going to phrase this one to you.
Phrase it, baby.
I'll guess I'll start easy. Lee McNeil.
I like that. Hot?
I have him scorching hot.
Yeah, I like it.
I was trying to look through my list real quick and see, are there any like on the teetering on the edge? Lee McNeil, to me, is scorching hot. But I'll go.
I love that one, too.
I'll add a little more thought to this one. How about Malcolm Rodriguez?
Where do you have him?
I have him cold.
Me too.
I have him cold.
That's great.
I would have had him maybe lukewarm before Dane Campbell's press conference today where he talked about the linebacking crew, but he didn't bring up Malcolm Rodriguez. He talked about Anzalone and Derek Barnes and Jack Campbell. Might have just been a slip. He might have just forgot, but it definitely seemed in this last game, Jack Campbell's snap count went up a little bit. Malcolm's went down, where all four of them were – actually, Anzalone was far and away ahead of the other ones, but Malcolm and Jack were very similar. So,
do you know what it is, though, too? I don't think it's that he's been bad. I think it's just that, like, Derek Barnes has been so good.
Yes.
Jack Campbell's been so good every opportunity he's gotten. And same Alex Anzalone has been Alex Anzalone, like that leader, and he's been that elite kind of consistent guy to where it's nothing I don't think. And I want to look kind of at some PFF numbers for him tonight, and we can talk about that tomorrow maybe. But I don't think it's anything that like Malcolm Rodriguez is doing, man.
The fact that he's your four, and Britt from IA just said precisely on point. Malcolm's cold, but he should be. We all love him, but he should be a depth and special teams guy. The fact that you have Malcolm Rodriguez as your number 4 is incredible. It's great. If Derek Barnes goes down, Anzalone goes down, you still have this Malcolm with experience, and he is hungry. He's not just going to go away quietly, but the fact that he can be that backup piece is huge.
I'm going to tell you guys real quick about Big Boy, and then we'll come back. We'll go. I have one more, and then I think you have 2 more as well. So let's do this real quick. Big Boys, burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy, baby. It is burger time. Try the best cheeseburger or our new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. And if you're craving chicken, try that Dolly chicken sandwich, baby. Turn up the heat with Bob's Hot Chicken Sandwich.
Bob Dabalina.
And you can even upgrade your fries to chili cheese fries or loaded baked potatoes fries. Those loaded baked potato fries are good. And if you want some dessert, because we do have a treat for you, indulge in the new Reese's Chocolate Peanut Butter Thunder Cake or satisfy that sweet tooth with the new funnel cake fries over at Big Boy.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel. Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Play, practice, and party at 5 Iron Golf, downtown's newest sports bar. It's got 13 TrackMan simulators, certified instructors, and most importantly, a full bar and restaurant. Mention promo code Woodward at checkout for 50% off your first visit. And do that at 5irongolf.com to tee up the good times. So, whether you're a serious golfer like D-Mac or you're just there for a good time like Flannel Sam, 5 Iron is the spot for you. That is 5irongolf.com to tee up the good times.
All right, baby,
Yeah,
welcome
baby.
back. What was that, Broder?
I said, yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby.
Welcome back to Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. My name is Booner. Broder.
That's me.
Right there, baby. No mustache. That is not a new person. That is the same person. Jalen in the TD booth, Nick in the sound booth. Make sure you guys hit that like button for us. Let's get you 100 likes here before the end of the show.
Please.
We're going to do finish off this quick segment here with our last, before we get into mailbag, with our last temperature check. So I'm gonna go. Actually, you go because you have 2 more and I have 1 more. You go here and then it'll come back to me.
All right, my first one is the tag team. I'm going 2 players in 1. Josh Reynolds and Marvin Jones.
Oh, cold.
Temperature check. You're going cold?
Well, tag team is tough because Josh Reynolds. I'm going warm.
Okay.
I love me some Josh Reynolds, bro.
Split them up. 12 catches, 12 first downs.
Yes, and you already know that I'm a big Josh Reynolds fan. Marvin, you know what? As much as people might hate it, Lucas knows ball, and he probably would agree with me a little bit. Marvin Jones is a great blocker. A veteran guy out there. I'll go warm.
Interesting. No,
If
that's fair.
you put them together, Josh Reynolds pulls him a little bit too warm. But, is it Britt from IA says Jones is ice cold? Yeah, I mean, if you're just looking at numbers-wise, yeah.
Yeah. Who's on first? Right, Lorena Rios? I am going to put them both at cold. I'm going to keep them in the same category. Josh is playing better than Marvin, but I think they both fall into that same category in terms of what Jared Goff thinks of them and his trust for them. Josh Reynolds has been the one to get the first downs these last couple of games, to get those targets against Green Bay. Neither of them were targeted in the Atlanta Falcons game. I think Marvin Jones was out there for 30 to 40 snaps, and Josh Reynolds was closer to 50. So I just think at some point later in the year, whichever one, whether it's Marvin Jones or Josh Reynolds, I think they're going to step up and they're going to make a huge catch for the Lions. So saying that, I know I just sort of had their back, but with Jameson Williams coming back, their targets, their snaps are going to go down.
This is the thing too, though, with Josh, and I hate to I'm gonna split them up. A lot of people are saying Jones is frozen solid. I'm gonna split this up. Josh Reynolds, you have to put him in the warm category. Right now, he's on track for 900 yards in the season, and obviously it's going to slow down because JMO's going to come back. But if say JMO wasn't coming back, Josh Reynolds is going to be. He's basically right there with Sam Laporta as that number 2 wide receiver position, and he's almost at 1,000 yards through the season. I know he didn't have those targets, and me and Brandon Katz in one of the chats did get in an argument about that he was hurt. But Josh Reynolds is so reliable.
I think his role stays exactly the same.
He said if Reynolds is cold, then Raymond's cold too. Lucas Raymond's cold. Or Lucas Raymond.
Whoa. Lucas Raymond's hot.
I do have a little bit of hockey on my mind here.
Yeah, Red Wings. Where's the away fan?
I had that on my mind there. They've looked really good. But I agree with him. It's if you're going to say one, Josh Reynolds is cold, Khalif Raymond's cold too, but I can't put either of them cold. They've both been warm. They've held it down a ton with JMO out. A ton. You don't win. You're not 3-1 without either of those guys.
No.
So I'm putting them warm. Marvin Jones, on the other hand, veteran-wise and blocking-wise and being out there to kind of be a presence, maybe I would say right there in the middle, not warm or cold. But if you're talking about production-wise and is he getting the catches, is he kind of helping that offense production-wise, you're going cold.
Yeah, fair.
And I think that's fair. But Josh Reynolds, I can't. Yeah. I can't do that to Josh Reynolds, man.
Right. I can appreciate that. What's your last one?
I appreciate you. Last one here.
Aww.
Scorching hot.
Boo.
Scorching hot. Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn! Aaron Glenn has his defense buzzing. We already talked about it, how he's taken this defense from 32nd in yards per game last year all the way up to 4th. He's taken this rushing defense from 29th or 30th all the way up to number 1 in the NFL through the first 4 weeks. And he's taken this passing defense all the way up from 29th all the way up to 17th, and that's with injuries in the secondary. Aaron Glenn has turned things around after that Week 2 loss, and he has proven that he is a great defensive coordinator. And all those fire AG people, just like Easy always says, turn in that apology slip right now. Because Aaron Glenn has stepped his game up. He's gotten talent in that locker room now, and he has proven it. The Detroit Lions are 1st overall in rushing defense and 4th overall in total defense when it comes to yards per game. That man is elite. He has been elite the last couple weeks.
210 degrees, 211 degrees Fahrenheit. That dude is boiling hot. He is almost at 212. And I was just thinking when I saw some of these emojis in the chat, next week when we do this, we got to have the chat involved a little more, throwing the fire emojis when they think it's hot, and
that's a good
and
one.
The snow when it's cold.
Tyler said from fire AG to fire AG. Like, you get it? I don't know.
Tyler also said arson Glenn. Dude's on fire. AG, arson Glenn. I dig it. To be honest, Booner, my last one was going to be a trio of Dan Campbell, Ben Johnson, and Aaron Glenn.
They've been killing it, man.
So I'll just go with Ben Johnson for the sake of this on the offensive side. Hot or cold?
Hot.
Hot.
He's been good. I mean, it's a top 10 offense as well. Again. Yeah. It's going to end up being top 5 with J-Mo. And once Jameer gets involved, top 5.
I'm with you. Haven't even had J-Mo yet. Haven't even really involved Jameer yet. Offensive line's been injured. I'm with you. Hot. Hot, hot, hot. This means it's mailbag time.
It is.
I'm going to tell you real quick. Show up tomorrow morning. We're going to be live at 7 a.m. I'll be joined by Gabrielle D. Phillips and the Detroit sports legend, Terry Foster, for our Woodward and Maine Lions Insider Show live from 7 to 8 a.m. Actually, it's about 7 to 7:50 a.m. So come join us. Also, get your questions in mailbag when we come back. We're going to be taking some questions from you guys, but Booner first.
Yes.
Tell them about Lady Jane's. And actually, I got one more after you.
You do. We've got some new ad reads here today, which is always exciting. But come over to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience. I've got one here just a couple weeks ago. I need to get a new one here. Register to win a trip of your dreams. An all-expenses paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament. That is right. No expenses spared for you and 5 of your best buds. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Listen, it is wicked awesome.
Give me real quick.
There we go. Look at
All right, one more for you. It's Les Stanford. What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. This is exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC, the same great service that customers have come to know and trust. It's on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today. Find the brand you want at lesstanford.com.
It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour.
You're a good coach, Tim. Oh, great shot.
Some of the biggest names in Michigan sports, and some, well, not so much.
Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, shit. Go in.
Watch episodes at woodwardsports.com.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel. Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Join Woodward Sports and Long Drink live next Sunday, actually this coming Sunday, for the official Lions VIP tailgate party at Eastern Market Shed number 5. It's gonna be a bash. It starts from 9:30 a.m., runs up until game time. It's the official Lions tailgate. It's back, and it is better than ever. So how would you like to pregame it with Woodward Sports to be treated like a VIP? Come to it. We got food, beverages, and entertainment all included. So get your tickets online today at bullseyeeventgroup.com.
Let's go, baby! Last segment of the day. I wish we could keep going for another hour with all of you guys watching, man. I would love to keep going. But welcome back to Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. My name is Booner. Joined, as always, Matthew Broder, Detroit Lions beat reporter. Jalen in the TD booth. Nick in the sound booth. Make sure you guys hit that like button. We're 20 away from 100. Let's get 100 before mailbag is over and we end the show here. I want to find it here real quick. The mailbag, or the away fan, where is it at?
No.
The away fan. First of all, condolences out to the away fan, man. He said girlfriend is currently breaking up with the away fan. The good news is I'll have more monies for wing tickets. Listen, real quick. Booner therapy session. We're gonna start doing a therapy session with Booner going forward in a couple days. The away fan. Listen, I've had a girlfriend in 7 years, man. Sometimes it's a good thing. I wouldn't be sitting up here doing this show right now if I didn't have a girlfriend. Or if I had a girlfriend.
True.
Just lock in and go get what's yours. That's what I've done here without a girlfriend. So shout out to the away fan. We apologize for that.
Booner, when you did have a girlfriend, did the Booner don't lose, did that carry into like arguments and any time you disagreed with her?
Any argument I ever have outside of any argument, I do not like to lose. Like I will argue with you even if there's a point that I lost the argument, I will keep going. So that might be a reason why I don't have a girlfriend now. Mailbag here, Tyler. In honor of Miggy, what was Broder's final baseball game experience like?
Oh, hey. I walked away with a win in my final game.
Oh, I love
against
that.
Penn State. I think I pitched 7 innings. We won the game 5-4. I actually don't know if I got the win in it. I think I might have came out when it was tied or whatever, but it was one of my better games pitched. Penn State at home at the Ray Fisher Stadium. It was a good one to remember. Thank you, Tyler.
I like that. My last basketball game ever, it was a championship game, and we lost. I think it was like a regional final or district final or something, and I shot like 1 for 12 from 3. What? And it was just because it was like I was a shooter on the team, and Jalen, you know you're a hooper. If you're a shooter on the team, you tell your shooter like touch the ball. If you don't shoot the ball, you're coming out of the game. And it was just one of those situations where coaches kept saying, shoot the ball. I'm like, dude, I'm 1 for 6. I'm passing it. No, shoot the ball. It's going to go. And it's a close, like, it's tough. I had to.
Update.
You know what it's like as a shooter, man. Like
shoot.
Shoot. You just have one of those games, and what do you do?
They do. Oh, man.
The update, the away fan, the girlfriend is a Flyers fan.
Oh, no.
So,
good thing.
Good
right?
riddance. You can go hang out with Eric Lindros. I don't know if you guys know Eric Lindros.
Colton's Cardboard, mailbag. Do you think the Taylor Swift and Kelsey thing is just one big PR trick?
Wow. We were talking, do we even bring up Taylor Swift and this stuff?
The NFL's got out of control with it. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, I actually don't think it was planned as a PR trick, but they're using it to the maximum of their abilities, as they should. Anytime. I'd recommend to anyone watching, anytime you get some situation that just happens to fall in your favor, use it.
Got another one here. There's a lot of good ones here today. The away fan again. Who has impressed you the most in the Wings preseason, and who has failed to impress? First one I'm going to say here is that DeBrincat or Larkin kind of duo there. From what I've heard, has been insane. Even on the power play, like I'm pretty sure game 1 they had 1 or 2 goals together, and game 2 it was the same thing.
Yeah,
DeBrincat assist to Larkin. So that's been the biggest positive I think we can all take away. Correct.
I remember watching that pass, and I haven't watched a ton of the Wings yet, but I saw that play where he set up Larkin across. It was like he sent the pass right in front of the goalie. It was sick.
That's a positive there.
How about this? Nicholas Earl, mailbag. Would you be okay with Gibbs not being a focal point of the offense until next year? I would.
Yeah.
We got him for 5 years.
Yeah, and who's the focal point really of the offense right now?
Demont or Amon-Ra St. Brown.
It's a team offense.
Yeah. It sort of depends on who the offensive coordinator is next year.
You don't have like that Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson where like that's your only guy.
Yeah.
I think if we win the division and win a playoff game, I don't care who's getting the ball in any situation.
Facts. After the Lions, it just went away from me.
There was one here that said Booner, a 5'2" point guard, Lorena.
That's insane.
I'm 5'10". I'm going to have to go to the doctors and get a measurement and kind of put it up there.
Are you 5'10", like with shoes or without shoes?
That I do not know. But Broder's like, what are you, 6'4"?
6'5".
6'5"? Yeah, Broder's 6'5". What are we? And I'm not like super short off of him.
Those cameras make
6'5", maybe 6 inches off of Broder, which would be 6'5", 10".
How tall are you, Nick?
5'10", baby.
Yes, me. I might be taller than Nick.
I'm 6'2", 6'3". So
I'm pretty sure I'm
twins.
like taller than Nick, and if he's saying 5'10".
No way, Booner. Let's do it.
All right, after the show, we're gonna do it. We'll get back to you. Maybe we'll take a picture.
6 feet boys, you know.
What are you?
Broder. I'm like 6'2", 6'3", man. I'm perfect height.
6'2", 6'3".
Yeah.
Jalen, what's your favorite Lil Wayne song? Your favorite Lil Wayne song?
Man. Probably Let the Beat Build.
Oh, that's a good one.
Wait, what did you just say?
Let the beat build, bitch.
Hey,
yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna say that. I've been listening to that every day in the last week.
And probably
It's fire.
Great song.
A Milli is like my favorite one like ever, but Let the Beat Build is probably that ain't comfortable. So all Carter 3 albums.
I think I've listened to Let the Beat Build probably 14 or 15 consecutive days.
Classic. You gotta go Fireman, Hustler Music.
Great. Yeah.
Lil Wayne,
3P.
Especially the whole
I love
Carter.
3P.
Yeah,
oh, man.
it's epic. Well, Blunt blowing. Yes.
Oh yeah, the chat's going now.
No ceiling. Oh,
the chat's going now.
We know what we now need to include maybe in a trending topic.
On my way here, I had the Carter 3 playing.
Yeah.
What was it? What's that, Nick?
Smash that like button. Let's go. Let's get to 100, boys. Come on.
We're almost there. Hit that like button. Last one. Second to last one. We'll do 2 more here.
Oh, 3-6 Mafia.
Hey, I got that one. Poppin' My Collar, man.
Epic.
Poppin' My Collar is my favorite 3-6 Mafia song.
Do we have another one here? I want to see. I want to do one more question here.
What we got?
Sip in on some syrup.
Here's a mailbag. Michael T. Does it really matter how many JMO stats JMO gets? We have so many weapons on the offense. I want to see how he reacts on days he doesn't get 6 targets. What kind of teammate will? I think he's going to be a fine teammate. Yeah, I didn't read through that whole question all the way. I think JMO's going to be just fine.
But it's a great question,
remember when Amon-Ra St. Brown took the Woodward Sports microphone and walked up to JMO like that? They have that rapport built already. I think that his teammates love him.
Yes.
Peaceful Tim, I want to let you know, Mega Man's my go-to. Come on, Peaceful Tim, don't sleep on me. Don't sleep.
You guys don't try my booth, buddy.
I love it.
You know what I mean?
Appreciate you guys all tuning in, though. We will be back tomorrow. Make sure you guys hit that like button before you guys head out. Make sure as well, throw a comment when the stream ends here below. Anything you guys want us to do better, any segments you guys would like to see, feedback. We'll love it all. Appreciate you guys all tuning in, though, and we will see you guys tomorrow at 8 o'clock.
Toodles, my
love
G.
you guys.